Hello and welcome to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. The Pippins are coming off an 8-2 loss to the Port Angeles Lefties in their series opener last night. They'll look to rebound tonight. The first inning of last night's game, a 4-error inning for the Pippins, now the most errors that they've committed in one inning. Allowed 6 runs to score, which the Pippins would never be able to fight back, to earn back. They did score 2 in the game. Noah Williamson had a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning, but other than that, Pippins walked away with the loss. Outside of that first inning, pitching-wise, Seth Kuykendall turned in 4 more innings. Solid performance, 2 earned runs on the night for him. Weston Janevs turned in 3 scoreless innings, 3 strikeouts and 3 walks. And Joey Camarada turned in a clean 9th, striking out 1 along the way. The Pippins hope their gloves wake up a little bit earlier tonight as they come back for the win in Game 2. First pitch tonight is 8:55 p.m. Temperatures up in the triple digits again today, around 112, 113 at the hottest that I saw. Expected to be in the low 90s at first pitch when we get going. They'll also have to make sure they keep up personalities with the umpiring crew, especially after tensions rose last night, culminating in the ejection of catcher Sam Olson in the 6th inning of last night's game. When we come back, an interview for you ahead of tonight's game. You're tuning in to Pippins pregame show on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Hello fans and welcome back to the Pippins pregame show. I'm Chris Rosado Jr. talking once again with head coach Kyle Crustangel ahead of tonight's game. Kyle, you guys had an 8-2 loss last night. Errors played a big part of that game for you guys. How do you look to rebound from last night coming into today?
I think it's a new day. I think I mentioned it maybe yesterday, but maybe a previous interview. But one of the best things about baseball, I told the guys yesterday, is that you always got another day tomorrow. It's not football where you got a bad Friday night or Saturday in college and you got to wait a week to get back on the field. For us, it's a flush. It's move forward. I mean, obviously, 4 errors in the first inning, gave them all 6 runs, made Seth get about 6-7 outs out there. You're playing on your heels the entire way, and what makes us and our offense so good is so many times we get a lead early, and then at that point we're just hitting free, easy, and confident in the box. And when you're trying to press, down by 6, and they kind of extended it to 7, all of a sudden, it takes you out of your rhythm. Each out frustrates hitters a little bit more, so it kind of just took us out of a lot of the game, to be honest. And I look forward today just to get back to kind of playing good, clean baseball. We'll get a good outing from Kenny, and balls will be on play, and we've been a very, very good defensive team, so it's not like we've been plagued, for the entire season on errors and not making plays. This team makes good plays and makes plays, so we'll have good intentional focus today defensively and making sure we're taking our BP reps and our pregame defensive reps as strong as we can. But it's not a coach likes to hit the emergency button outlier type of ball game. It's a long summer. You're going to have a couple of those, and unfortunately one was last night, but a lot to learn from it. Had a good post-game talk. I think we'd gotten away with a few things when you seem to be winning a lot, and sometimes kind of getting kicked can definitely help and can take some stuff that's not been going as good and looking to put it to our game. So look for us to play a complete game, get after it today, and playing for a series tomorrow.
All right, yeah, like you said, a very uncharacteristic performance out of the defense last night. They look to rebound tonight in Game 2 of the series. First pitch, 8:55 p.m., pushed back because of the heat. We'll be right back with lineups and first pitch on the Pippins pregame show.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies. agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Herald Republic, either in print or online. You can subscribe by calling 577-7755. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell your stories. For the Port Angeles Lefties, Luke Saunders will lead off and play right field tonight as well as he did last night. Javi Espinoza back in the second spot, playing second base again. Garrett Lake hits third and plays center field. Coleman Schmidt will move over to first base tonight and still hit cleanup. Shea Thomas in the fifth spot again. He slides over to shortstop. Trevor Tashenko will bat sixth and play left field. Carson Crawford, new to the lineup, plays third base tonight and will bat seventh. Jack Holman gives the legs a rest today as he's the DH for Tommy Takayoshi, the catcher, who bats ninth. Starting pitcher for the Port Angeles Lefties will be Kota Sato. For the Pippins, Taylor Holder will lead off and play left field today. Alex Shanks hitting second, plays right field. Willie Lajoie will be the DH in tonight's contest. Batting third, Noah Williamson hits cleanup tonight and will play center field. Blake Dickman, the first baseman, will hit fifth. Michael Carpentier Jr. back behind the plate hits sixth. Connor Kobalas batting seventh and will play shortstop. Bryce Martin Grudzelanek gets the start tonight at third base. He hits eighth. And Spencer Marenko rounds out the bottom of the order playing second base. Kenny Johnson back on the mound for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Made an appearance in Sunday's 16-inning game against the Walla Walla Sweets. He pitched one inning there, one strikeout, no runs given up. A nice little bounce-back performance following an outing in Ridgefield that didn't quite go his way. Pippins had a tough couple of games to finish out the Ridgefield series after opening that series with a 10-1 win. And in Johnson's last start, he made it through 2 1/3. He had given up 5 runs, walked 4, struck out 3 in that outing. So the Pippins able to slip him into the Sunday's game, the finale against the Sweets, get him a little bit of work, help him build back the confidence. And I think it worked. Put together a nice little ninth inning in that game. First pitch taken by Luke Saunders outside for a ball. The 1-0 also outside as Kenny tries to dial it in. This game getting started at 8:55 p.m. Much later than originally scheduled for 6:35. Here's the 2-0. That one over the plate for a called strike, and it's 2-1. The games yesterday and today originally were pushed back to 7:35. They ended up playing last night's game at 7:55. And tonight gets underway just past 8:55 in the evening here on June 30th. 3 balls and 1 strike for Saunders. Catches the outside corner. And the count is full for Saunders. Temperature at first pitch here in Yakima, 91 degrees. It was in the triple digits earlier. Has settled down since then. That's why they pushed it back this late. Bouncer up the middle, giving chase is Connor Kobalas, but it'll get past him and into center field. So Luke Saunders on with a leadoff base hit to start the game. Defensively for the Pippins, Holder in left, Noah Williamson out in center, and Alex Shanks in right. Bryce Martin Grudzelanek at third base, Connor Kobalas at shortstop, position he's shown the most comfort level at. Spencer Marenko at second, And Blake Dickman with the start at first base as Lajoie is the DH. Carpentier behind the plate. First pitch fouled off by Javi Espinoza. Carpentier comes into this game having thrown out 6 of 14 would-be base stealers. 429 caught stealing percentage for him. Saunders, the leadoff batter, reached on the single. See if he'll test the arm of Carpentier. Here's the 0-1. He does take off. It's a hit and run and lined into left field for a base hit, but not placed well enough for Saunders to fully take advantage of the hit and run. He moves up to second and has to stop there. So they do test the arm, but under the cover of a hit and run. So runners on first and second. Corners will play in for Garrett Lake in the possible sacrifice situation. Middle infielders playing towards the second base bag. Cabal is playing right behind Saunders at second. First pitch strike. Couple of light base hits that Johnson has given up to get started here. Working out of the stretch with 2 runners on. Does crouch as he looks in for the sign and stands straight up with his glove just above the belt. The 0-1 bunted back to Johnson. He plays it on the hop over to third in time on the force out to nullify the sacrifice. Instead, it's a fielder's choice. Johnson with a perfect throw right on the money to Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. Even after he had to wait back to play it on the hop. I wasn't sure when he played back on it whether he'd have enough time to get the throw off, but Johnson fired one over to third. Probably hurt the hand of Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. So Coleman Schmidt will bat. First baseman here tonight. 1 out, runners on first and second. Infield playing at normal depth now. That one misses low and away. 1-0. Last time Kenny Johnson pitched, I used the wrong nickname for him that he likes to go by. Partial to Ken Dog, as he informed me. The 1-0 swung on and missed by Coleman Schmidt, and it's 1-1. That's what a lot of his teammates refer to him by. It's the one that he prefers to be called. So Ken Dog it is, and Ken Dog out on the mound. 1-1 count, 1 out, helped himself out, fielding that bunt, throwing to third for the lead runner out, and fouled off. He's got Coleman Schmidt with a 1-2 count. Schmidt bats from the right side. The lefties in their black jersey tops with the orange numbers and piping on the sleeves, gray pants and blue socks. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Weak contact on the pitch that was well out of the zone. Shows that he's got the hitter on his toes. The Pippins in their neon green jerseys tonight in the white pants. They wore the green jerseys and black hats for 13 games in a row as they went on a 12-game win streak and finally lost the 13th game. Check swing that went off the bat and back into the glove of Michael Carpentier Jr. So despite Schmidt's bat barely moving at all, it's a foul tip, strike 3, and Coleman Schmidt is the second out of the inning. And after a game like that last night, when you give up 4 errors in the first inning and things just don't seem to be going your way, when something like that happens, that's a good sign for the rest of the night. Shea Thomas bats with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Johnson out of the stretch, delivers. Fouled back to the backstop, and it's 0-1. And sometimes you need some of those things, the awkward hops, the bloop base hits. That's what helps when a team is struggling. So Kenny Johnson will come set. 0-1 to Shea Thomas, fifth batter of the inning. Outside corner called strike. They throw down to first, and Dickman a little late to get back to the bag. The throw is just off target as well, but Dickman makes the catch and tag, not quite in time. So it's 0-2 for Shea Thomas. And Johnson will look back in to try to put him away. Here's the 0-2. That one misses low and away. It's 1-2. First two batters singled for the Port Angeles Lefties, but an attempted sacrifice bunt that Johnson picked up and threw to third to get the lead out. And then a strikeout, but leaves the two runners, albeit different runners, on first and second with two outs. Here's the 0-2 to Shea Thomas. Soft grounder up the middle. Cabales will pick it up, toss it to second for the third out. So two runners on, but Kenny Johnson strands them. We head to the bottom of the first. Pippins bat for the first time tonight. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires, proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Kota Sato will make the start tonight for the Port Angeles Lefties. Sato is first appearance for the Lefties in league play. He will face Taylor Holder, Alex Shanks, and Willie Lajoie as we get going here in the bottom of the first. Lefties got two batters aboard in the top of the first inning. Attempted sacrifice bunt that Johnson put right on the money to third base to get the lead out. Then struck out Coleman Schmidt and got Shea Thomas to hit a grounder up the middle. Cabales retired the runner at second to get out of that inning. So no runs for the Lefties in the first and no errors for the Pippins. Timeout called as a ball skipped out of the Pippins bullpen. Somebody doing some early throwing, early work down in the bullpen. Here's the first pitch to Taylor Holder. That one just off the inside. It's 1-0. Beautiful pink-orange sky as the clouds are overhead here in Yakima. Always a great sight as the sun sets. It's almost set here, projected for 8:59, but obviously 10 minutes later. And you can see some of the light rays have scrambled up here in the night sky in Yakima. 2 balls and no strikes to Taylor Holder. Hitting .269 on the season. Checks his swing, takes a strike on the inside half of the plate. Has shown the ability to hit extra base hits. Really went on a tear in the non-league games. Here's the 2-1. That one inside corner taken for a strike, and it's 2-2. Kelly Richmond behind the plate tonight. Mike Carr out on the bases. They were the same umpires that the Pippins had last night. However, Carr was behind the plate and Richmond on the bases last night. Here's the 2-2 from Sato. Breaking ball, Holder swings at it. Grounder to the shortstop, Shea Thomas, over to first in time for out number 1. Breaking ball that Holder tried to follow, and as it dropped out of the zone, he still kept his bat on it, but could only muster the weak grounder. Tells Alex Shanks what he saw at the plate. Shanks will dig in with 1 out, nobody on. Shanks getting the start here in right field. Hit in the second spot and was the right fielder in Sunday night's game against the Walla Walla Sweets. Here's the first pitch. And I guess that pitch hit Alex Shanks. I mean, he tossed his bat right away. The umpire signaled well after Shanks took off, but not necessarily, I can neither confirm nor deny whether that pitch hit Shanks, but he sold it at least well enough if it didn't hit him. So here's Willie Lajoie hitting .344 on the year. Grounder to the left side. Thomas to his right makes the throw across his body. One hops the first baseman. Lajoie's now on his way to second as the ball went to the fence. The throw gets there in time, but Lajoie steps to the far side of the bag. Javi Espinoza had a long way to go to bring the tag around and missed Lajoie's leg. He didn't even have to slide. So Lajoie, on what would have been a tough ground out, ends up being a 2-base error. Shanks moves all the way to third on the play, and my, how the turntables have turned here in the bottom of the first inning of Game 2. So it's a base hit for Willie Lajoie, and the error gets him to second. First pitch to Noah Williamson, swung at and missed for strike 1. Runners on second and third and 1 out. Here's the 0-1 from Sato. Grounder up the middle. That hit something in the infield. Thomas again makes the throw, this time on target to retire Noah Williamson. Alex Shanks scores from third on the play, and Lajoie moves over to third. So it's an RBI ground out for Noah Williamson, his 24th RBI of the season. And up will step Blake Dickman. Dickman recently clean shaven. Takes a first pitch strike. Came in last night after Sam Olson was ejected from the game in the 6th inning. Failed to get a hit, so had to shave as the streak was over. Grounder to third baseman Carson Crawford. Long throw across the diamond. Coleman Schmidt comes up off the bag but comes back down in time. So Blake Dickman grounds out to the third baseman, and that's the third out. The Pippins push across 1 run. They lead 1-0 after 1. We'll be back. Tune in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Chris Rosado Jr. bringing you the action here tonight and every night for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Every home game streamed both on Mixlr Audio and on YouTube at Pippins Baseball. You can find both of those at pippinsbaseball.com/live. And all away games streamed exclusively on Mixlr Audio. Pippins conclude the series with the Lefties tomorrow night at 7:05 p.m. It's Celebrate America Night with fireworks after the game presented by Banner Bank. Also, every fan receives a souvenir red, white, and blue Pippins hat. Or I should say the first 1,000 fans receive that souvenir hat. It's also Thirsty Thursday tomorrow night. First pitch to Trevor Tashenko to lead off the top of the second, misses for a ball. After tomorrow night, the Pippins head on the road for a 6-game road trip as they finish up the first half, first in Bend for Friday through Sunday, and then over to Walla Walla Monday through Wednesday. And as I said, when they finish that trip, the first half will be over for the Pippins, who are currently on top of the North Division with a 2-game lead over the Sweets. They come into this game 10-6 after the loss last night. Hard-hit line drive into right field. Shanks will chase it to the wall, fields it off, and now will throw it in. It goes all the way to second, but Kobalis does not stop it on the hop. So it's a leadoff double for Trevor Tashenko. Shanks almost got it where it needed to go, but the awkward hop on the throw. You never know. Maybe you hit the cutoff man, Spencer Marenko out there in shallow right, and maybe he's able to get that on a line to second base to get the runner. Shanks has quite the arm. He's shown it off out in right field. So here's Carson Crawford playing third base tonight. Runner on second and no outs. The first pitch misses low and away for a ball. Here's the 1-0 from Kenny Johnson. Fouled off the plate and then got a piece of Crawford, and it's 1-1. One ball and one strike for Carson Crawford as he takes a moment to collect himself after fouling that one off his foot. Does wear a shin guard on his front foot. Johnson back pick to second, and back in safely is Trevor Tashenko. Spinned to the glove side, Johnson did, instead of the old noodle move, picking up your leg and spinning around to second. Here's the 1-1. Checks his swing on a pitch slider that left the zone. It's 2-1. Pippins, after last night's game here today, before and after batting practice, they worked on holding runners on as the Lefties stole, I believe, 4 bases last night, if not 5. Here's the 2-1. That one fouled off of Crawford as well, and it's 2-2. So they worked on holding runners on, as well as fielding ground balls up the middle, turning double plays and getting a quick turn going. That was something they struggled with, was watching the ball all the way in the glove, so they worked on that after batting practice ended. Here's the 2-2. That one pulled into Lefties on a line. So the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. No outs after the leadoff double by Trevor Tashenko. Jack Holman, who caught last night, is on deck. He's the DH tonight for the Lefties. Here's the 2-2. That one pulls the string on it, gets Carson Crawford swinging, his second strikeout of the night. And that will bring up Jack Holman. Johnson has a great mix of pitches he can throw. Throws hard and can blow it by batters, but also mixes in a slider and can go off speed like he just did to just keep everyone guessing and on their toes. Holman, the lefty, digs in. First pitch misses off the outside edge, and it's a ball. Johnson looks in, gets the sign from Carpentier as they work through multiple signs with the runner on second. That one catches the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gave up a pair of base hits to start the game back in the first, but got the next 3 batters to either hit ground balls or strike out. Got out of that inning. Leadoff double here by Trevor Tashenko, and he strikes out Carson Crawford. 1 out, the runner on second. The pitch low. Carpentier keeps it in front of him, and it's 2-1. Understand that Ken and Lisa Johnson watching the broadcast here tonight. Watching Kenny Johnson get to work against the Port Angeles Lefties. Another back pick to second. That one right on the line, and Trevor Tashenko picked off a second base. That is the second perfectly placed ball thrown by Kenny Johnson. The first one back in the first inning retires the lead runner at third on the attempted sacrifice bunt by Garrett Lake. And this one, the bat pick, a terrific move by Johnson. Tashenko just a little bit too far off the bag, but that throw placed perfectly so that Cabales caught it right when Tashenko was sliding back in. He didn't even have to move his glove to apply the tag. So Johnson gives up the leadoff double, ends up picking off the runner from second. 3-1 to Jack Holman, and 2 outs, nobody on. Three balls and 1 strike. The pitch. Fly ball to right. Alex Shanks takes a couple of steps back and will make the catch for out number 3. So Kenny Johnson helping himself plenty here tonight through 2 scoreless innings. We head to the bottom of the second. Pippins lead 1-0. We'll be right back. You're tuning to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
It's a cloud of uncertainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Walking through the ice stone.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Kenny Johnson getting to work against the Port Angeles Lefties. He's given up 3 hits but no runs. 2 strikeouts in 2 innings of work. He's helped himself out with some great defensive plays, fielding a bunt back in the first and a pickoff to second in the top of the second inning. Pippins took advantage of an error by the Lefties in the first to take a 1-0 lead. They'll look to add to it here in the bottom of the second. And Michael Carpentier Jr. will lead things off. We'll take you back to Sunday night when Michael Carpentier Jr. caught all 16 innings of the game against the Walla Walla Sweets. In the top of the 9th, he threw out a runner trying to steal base, his 6th runner of the game that ended the top of the 9th inning. Then in the bottom of the 15th inning, trailing by 2, Carpentier hits a home run, 401 feet, 106 miles per hour off the bat. And then in the bottom of the 16th, hits a RBI base hit to tie the game again. He would be on first base. Runners were on the corners when Nick Irwin balked in the winning run of that game. Carpentier had a great game on Sunday in the second half of the game. The 1-0 fouled back to the netting, and it's 1-1 for Michael Carpentier Jr. Caught all 16 innings of that game. Team had Monday off. He got yesterday off as well. Gets the start behind the plate tonight. The 1-1. Popped up in the infield. Carson Crawford, the third baseman, coming in, makes the catch just in front of the pitcher's mound for out number 1. So here's Connor Cobalis, who will bat. Cobalis, who's been getting on base plenty throughout the season, has yet to hit an extra base hit. He's got the speed to stretch the legs, but just hasn't placed one right so far this season. .240 batting average, .381 on base percentage, and has 5 stolen bases as well. Takes the first pitch for a ball. 1-0, 1 out, nobody on. Bryce Martin Grudzelanek on deck. 1-0 swung on by Connor Cobalis on a pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-1. And timeout called as the Pippins again lose a baseball out of their bullpen. Some players getting some work in down there. Not that anyone's necessarily warming up to get into a game, but perhaps some bullpens getting thrown. It was hot, obviously, today. So pitchers maybe didn't get their work in earlier that they would have, getting some in the early innings here while the bullpen isn't being utilized. The grounder to shortstop, Shea Thomas, makes the throw on the run in time for out number 2. Cobalis, a quick runner. Thomas elected not to set his feet, put that one right into the chest of Coleman Schmidt. So here's Bryce Martin Grudzelanek, bats for the first time tonight with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the second. Bryce 1 for 4 on the season. Came on late in the 16-inning game on Sunday as a replacement for Willie Lajoie after he was pinch run for in that game. Came on to play first base, only had 1 at-bat. Last night got a start and went 1 for 3 with a walk. He also reached on an error. So 1 for 4 on the season, 1 walk. No balls and 1 strike after he fouls off the first pitch. Second pitch is flown into shallow center. Garrett Lake coming forward calls off the other fielders and makes the catch for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Pippins. They'll take their 1-0 lead into the top of the third. We'll be right back. You're tuning to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app FanFood, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download FanFood today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. The Pippins lead 1-0 as we head into the top of the third. Kenny Johnson out for his 3rd inning of work through 2 innings so far, giving up just 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. A couple of plays defensively that he's made as well. Nice little start for Kenny Johnson as he heads into the third. He will face 9, 1, and 2, starting with Tommy Takayoshi, followed by Luke Saunders and Javi Espinoza getting their second at-bats of the game. Takayoshi, left-handed hitter. Kenny Johnson getting started quickly. Started his windup as Takayoshi was still waving his bat. Hadn't even got it up to his shoulder yet. Much quicker to get into the box for the second pitch, and Johnson steps off. Talk about getting a batter out of his rhythm. 0-1 for Tommy Takayoshi. Kenny Johnson in command. Here's the pitch. Backdoor slider catches the corner, and it's 0-2. Kelly Richmond so far a little liberal with the outside corner to lefties. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off by Takayoshi. Just over the Pippins dugout down the third base line. Middle infielders playing almost at the outfield grass. Spencer about a step on, and Cabal a few steps onto the dirt. Soft bouncer to third base. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic makes the throw from almost at the pitcher's mound. He was on the run, and throw is on target and on time. Tommy Takayoshi is out number 1 in the top of the third. So Luke Saunders will bat. 1 out, nobody on. Had a base hit to lead off the game in the top of the first. Ended up getting put out at third when Garrett Lake attempted a sacrifice bunt. Here's the first pitch. And that slider comes inside. It's 1-0. Saunders bats from the left side. 1-0 grounded, just foul on the third base side. So 1-1. Kenny Johnson working out of the windup with nobody on. Rocks back and forth between his left and right legs before going right into the delivery. Hard hit grounder to Cabalas at short. Had some trouble getting it out of his glove, but the throw over to first is in time. And Luke Saunders is a quick out number 2. As I was saying, Johnson working out of the windup has his right foot on the rubber and rocks left to right. Eventually just rolls right into the windup. No stop, no pause in the motion for him. First pitch ball for Javi Espinoza, who also had a base hit in the first. He's told me he's sometimes a little restless with the legs. He's just got to keep moving on the mound. The 1-0 is popped up out of play, and it's 1-1. Johnson out of Cal State Bakersfield was used primarily as a reliever for the Roadrunners this spring. Has been used mostly as a starter for the Pippins. Here's the 1-1. That one misses low and away, and it's 2-1. The 2-1. Another grounder over to Cabalas. Awkward hop, but he fields it, makes the throw. Dickman stretches out, keeps his foot on the bag. A great stretch by Dickman. Gets out number 3, so Johnson with an even quieter third inning keeps the Lefties off the board. The Pippins lead 1-0 as we head into the bottom of the third. We'll be right back. You're tuning to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, Go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium as the Pippins will hit again here in the bottom of the third. It's 9-1 and 2 for the Pippins lineup. Spencer Marenko followed by Taylor Holder and Alex Shanks. First pitch misses high. Spencer Marenko takes ball one. Spencer Marenko hitting a tough 154 in league play. 1-0 swung on and missed. Does have two doubles. The bat really came alive during the stretch of non-league play. Has started to translate over as they return to West Coast League play. The 1-1 misses high. For him, it's been a little tougher. Hasn't been one of the more consistent bats in the lineup, so a little tougher to sort of put things together when you're not playing every day. The 2-1 popped up to left center. Garrett Lake will range over, call off the left fielder, and make the catch for out number one to start the bottom of the third. So here's Taylor Holder, grounded out to the shortstop back in the first inning. Holder back in number 11 tonight as the Pippins wearing their green jerseys. He wears 11, only grounded to the third baseman, and it popped right out of the glove of Carson Crawford. He didn't even realize at first until he went to pull the ball out. Between his legs, and Taylor Holder on after the error by the third baseman. I was mentioning Taylor Holder wears 11 except when the team wears white like they did last night, and he was in the lineup. So he wore number 6 for that game. Apologies, not last night. Back on Sunday. First pitch swinging was Alex Shanks. Was hit by the first pitch he saw back into first on a ball that didn't necessarily look like it hit off of him. But he tossed the bat away and was awarded first. They threw over to first base, and Holder actually slid into first and lost momentum quickly. He had to push himself back into the bag, but thankfully had enough time to do so. Sato comes set. The 0-1 swung on and missed, and Alex Shanks in the hole 0-2 with one out, and Taylor Holder on first. The 0-2 up high and taken by Shanks for a ball. Tommy Takayoshi thought about throwing down to first, but Holder stared him down, and the ball stayed at the plate. Here's the 1-2 from Sato. That one misses up high, and it's 2-2. So first two pitches swinging was Alex Shanks to go down 0-2, but takes the next two up high, and it's 2-2. Pippins lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. Taylor Holder on first, one out. The 0-2 lined into left. That will drop near the line. A base hit for Alex Shanks. Taylor Holder will pull into second, and with the ball in left, he will stay there. Tishenko had some trouble picking it up off the grass, but the runners at that point had already stopped running. So runners on first and second for Willie Lajoie, who reached on the infield base hit. That was thrown away by the shortstop, Shea Thomas. He reached second on the error, but they awarded him the hit. And so with that, he extended his hit streak and on-base streak. Now on a 16-game hitting streak with the hit in the first inning, and has reached base in every game he's played in, which is now 19 games this season. The 1-0. Grounder, third baseman. Crawford goes to second to first in time, and he almost took the head off of Taylor Holder running to third. So Willie Lajoie grounds out into a double play. Pippins do not score in the bottom of the third. We head to the fourth. Pippins leading 1-0. We'll be right back. You're tuning to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Kenny Johnson back out for a fourth inning of work. 3 hits, 2 strikeouts for him. A 3-up, 3-down inning with 3 groundouts in the third, and he has really settled in. Looks to continue against the lefties here in the top of the fourth. He will face Garrett Lake, Coleman Schmidt, and Shea Thomas, the 3, 4, and 5 batters in the lineup. Pippins with some last-second positional changes. Caballas moves over closer to the second base bag. The infield shaded to the right, outfield as well against the lefty Garrett Lake. First pitch misses outside, and it's 1-0. Kelly Richmond has been favoring the outside corner for lefties, so expect to see Johnson keep attacking that part of the plate. Goes back inside, and it's 2-0. Just to try it out, see if they can get that pitch called. A 2-0 from Johnson. Top of the zone called strike. And Garrett Lake with a 2-1 count. Garrett Lake tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt back in the top of the first inning with runners on first and second and no outs. Bunted it right back to Johnson, who threw to third on a line to retire the lead out. Garrett Lake and most awkward check swing. Garrett Lake had tried to check his swing. Kelly Richmond apparently made no call. He looked puzzled out there. Eventually pointed down to Mike Carr at first, who said that Lake did swing. So it's 3-2. So full count for Garrett Lake, the leadoff batter here in the top of the fourth. The payoff pitch swung on and fouled off out of play. Two again. That one bounces in, and Garrett Lake, the first walk of the game issued by Kenny Johnson. So no runners aboard in the third inning. Kenny Johnson walks the first batter here in the top of the fourth, and Coleman Schmidt will hit for the lefties. Johnson will now work out of the stretch for the first time since back in the second inning. Hit hard up the middle. Mike Carr dodges out of the way. The throw to second. Gonzalez to first. And a quick double play turned by the Pippins infield. Gosh, just night and day compared to last night. This team has been so good defensively. They struggled in the top of the first, and that was just a beautiful double play turned by Spencer Marenko and Connor Caballas up the middle. So here's Shea Thomas, who bats with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch taken for a ball. Ball was lasered right at Mike Carr, who got some good air to avoid getting hit by the ball. One hop, Spencer Marenko quickly got it to Caballas, who was covering at second, and then over to Dickman at first for the double play. Dickman makes his way over to the fence to try to field that one, but it bounces way out of play. So 1 ball and 1 strike after the foul ball by Shea Thomas. Here's the 1-1. That one up high, and it's 2-1 to Shea Thomas. Kenny Johnson getting the full backing of his defense in this one to help keep the game scoreless and the runners at a minimum. Here in the top of the 4th inning, 2 outs and nobody on after the double play turned by the Pippins, something in the eye of the home plate umpire, Kelly Richmond. A 2-2. One line down the first base side and will slice foul. 2-2. Lots of hard hit line drives here at the ballpark that have no chance of getting called with the short pulls in the corners. Here's the 2-2 again. Swung on and missed, and Kenny Johnson with his 3rd strikeout of the night gets out of the top of the 4th. Still no score for the Lefties. The Pippins lead 1-0 into the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
It's a cloud of uncertainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
Welcome back to the Orchard for the bottom of the 4th inning. Pippins lead 1-0. Kenny Johnson has done a terrific job out on the mound, and his defense has backed him up to keep the Lefties off the board so far. No errors through 4 innings for the Pippins defense. 2 errors so far for the Port Angeles Lefties. One of them helped the Pippins score back in the bottom of the 1st inning. So they lead 1-0. Noah Williamson will lead things off. Take you back to last night. Noah Williamson, one of the bright spots in that game for the Pippins. In the bottom of the 6th inning, hits a home run to almost straightaway center field. 423 feet over the Banner Bank sign just right of center. 107 miles per hour off the bat. And then in the top of the 8th inning, sprinted all the way in from left field to make yet another diving catch. This man has been full of diving plays all throughout the season. Just fun to watch at the plate. Fun to watch make almost impossible plays out on the field. Did both of those tonight. One at the bat, one in the field. The 0-1 after Williamson fouled off the first pitch. Up high, and he swings and misses. It's 0-2. Williamson, I've mentioned on the broadcast before, a few days ago, broke his X-bat that he had hit all of his home runs to that point in the season with. Broke his bat, had been trying to find a new bat. Hit another home run yesterday. He's working on getting another X-bat, he told me, but it's going to be a couple of weeks before it gets in. So until then, he's just trying to find a bat that'll work for him. Able to muscle one over the fence last night. Fouls another one off, and it's 0-2. Williamson digs back in against Sato. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and no, Williamson strikes out swinging here to lead off the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth. I'll bring Blake Dickman to the plate for the second time tonight. Grounded out to the third baseman, Carson Crawford, to end the first inning. Played a pivotal role in Sunday night's win against the Walla Walla Fleets. He was 0 for 6. He had been intentionally walked one time in that game, but coming into the bottom of the 16th, he was 0 for 6. Came up big with a 2-out base hit up the middle. They pinch ran for him with Corey Jarrell, who moved to second after the walk by Taylor Holder, and Jarrell scored from second on the hit by Michael Carpentier Jr. that tied things up. And here's a base hit by Blake Dickman with one out in the bottom of the fourth. Hard into first. Big turn just to see if Tashenko had trouble fielding that one, but gets pulled up. And it's a one-out base hit for Blake Dickman. So here's Michael Carpentier Jr. popped up in the infield about a mile high. The sky has now reached the point of darkness where if you hit a ball high enough, it's tough to play here in Yakima. It was a little lighter earlier when he hit the one in the infield, and we've seen plenty of them get lost in the sky. Here's the first pitch to Carpentier. That one misses off the outside of the plate, 1-0. Carpentier hitting .222 on the season. Terrific defensive option for the Pippins, and hits this one hard into right. Luke Saunders over, makes the catch. Just hit that one too near Luke Saunders. Kind of has been the story for Michael Carpentier Jr. Hits the ball hard, and too often just hits them right at guys. Of course, hit one a little bit too far for anyone to make the play on back in the bottom of the 15th on Sunday night. Second home run of the season that tied the game. Here's Connor Cabalas, first throw over to first. Blake Dickman back in. Dickman 1 for 2 stealing bases so far this season for the Pippins. The first pitch to Cabalas, taken in the dirt. Kept out in front by Takayoshi, and it's 1-0. Cabalas grounded out to the shortstop, Shea Thomas, in the second inning. Pippins went down in order in the second. It was Carpentier, Cabalas, and Bryce. There's the 1-0. Grounder left side, Shea Thomas. It goes off of his hip. Second error by Shea Thomas tonight. And this one allows Connor Cabalas aboard. So 2 outs and 2 on for Bryce Martin Grudzalanek. Bats with Blake Dickman on second and Connor Cabalas on first. First pitch swinging was Bryce and misses 0-1. Flew out to center to end that 1-2-3 second inning. Takayoshi heads out for a conversation with Sato. Conversation over. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic digs back in. No balls and 1 strike for him. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. The Pippins lead 1-0. They scored in the first. That's the only run that has been scored in this game. The 0-1 is fouled just past Cass Ulrich over at first base, and it's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes now for Bryce. Getting the start at third base. Just his second start in league play. The 0-2 fouled off back towards his own dugout. Bottom of the order, Spencer Marenko waits on deck. Bryce blows on his bat. Popular way for batters to kind of center themselves in games. There's the 0-2. That one slider that breaks away and outside. 1-2 for Bryce. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Blake Dickman had a 1-out base hit. Connor Cabales reached on the second error of the game by Shea Thomas at shortstop. Third error for the Lefties. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, and Bryce Martin Grudzalonic goes down swinging for the third out in the bottom of the 4th. So we head to the 5th. Pippins lead 1-0. We'll be right back. You're tuning to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
And checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
It's a cloud of uncertainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
Ooh. And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Wow!
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Walking through the ice stone.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Top of the 5th inning. It's 6, 7, and 8. Trevor Tashenko, Carson Crawford, and Jack Holman to lead things off for the Port Angeles Lefties. First pitch called a ball against Tashenko as he had his hand up. Not happy with Kelly Richmond, but got the ball anyways, so. Now digs back in. Here's the 1-0 from Johnson. First, that one up high. He goes after it. It's 1-1. Johnson has been working quickly, purposefully getting going through the windup. Is a little bit of a ask permission or ask forgiveness rather than permission. The 1-1 popped up inside on the hand. Spencer Marenko will make the catch near the second base bag for out number 1. Johnson has yet to be told anything by the home plate umpire, so why would he stop pitching as quickly as he is? First pitch to Carson Crawford. That slider had him way out in front, and it's 0-1. Johnson continues to keep the lefties off balance. The 0-1, he goes back to it, but this time Crawford lays off. It's 1-1. Sometimes when you're having trouble hitting late in counts against a pitcher, you want to swing at that first pitch fastball, and just like that, he works backwards, starting him off with a slider. And Crawford way out in front of it. Fouled off, and it's now 1-2 for Carson Crawford. Foul ball hit off the fence down in left field and went into the field of play, so they had to wait to get it off the field. Here's the 1-2. Popped up to right. Shanks racing back to the fence, looks up and watches it go. It's a solo home run with one out for Carson Crawford that ties this game in the top of the fifth. So Carson Crawford ties the game, and we're knotted up at 1. Jack Holman will bat. 0 for 1 tonight, looking to continue the offense. And something's going on. Mike Carr is Pippins wanted, I guess they wanted to appeal. It almost sounded like Mike Carr was initiating the appeal. So Mike Carr insisted on having the Pippins throw over, but Carr was out in the outfield making sure the ball went out. So the call goes to Richmond. They now go to first for the official appeal after Richmond already showed his hand that he was going to call that safe. They do it, and say that Crawford did indeed touch first base. Here's the first pitch to Jack Holman. Taken for a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. The 0-1, that one misses up high, and it's 1-1. Not exactly certain why the appeal drew so much attention over at first base. The 1-1 tried to hold back his swing, but couldn't, and it's 1-2 after the ball in the dirt. But the home run hit by Carson Crawford. First blemish on the record for Kenny Johnson. Here's the 1-2. One high and away, and it's 2-2. The 2-2 from Johnson, fouled off just over the head of Matt Acker, coaching third base. And the count remains even at 2-2. This will be the 70th pitch of the game for Kenny Johnson here in the fifth inning. Popped up to left field. Taylor Holder will range over to his right, pull up underneath, and make the catch for out number 2. So here's Tommy Takayoshi, who gets the start behind the plate tonight with Kota Sato on the mound. Johnson 70 pitches in here and has thrown almost twice as many pitches for strikes as he has balls. Nice performance so far from Johnson, locating the pitches up and down where he wants. Has struggled a little bit with going too far off the plate. Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a called strike. Tommy Takayoshi does. 2 outs, nobody on. Carson Crawford did have the solo home run here in this inning. The 0-1 inside corner, called strike 2. Same location. Strike or not, at least he's consistent, Kelly Richmond. So Johnson in the rock. Here's the windup, the 0-2. Outside corner, but just low, says Richmond. Johnson will get back up. I wonder if he's just going to try the same pitch again, see if he can bring it up an inch and get that called. He got back on the rubber quickly, and here he goes for the 1-2. They go back to the same place. It's low, swung through by Takayoshi, who's on his way to first. It goes all the way to the backstop, and Carpentier unable to get to it. So the fourth strikeout of the game for Kenny Johnson, but Tommy Takayoshi reaches first. Kelly Richmond out to have a conversation with Mike Carr. Not sure if Carpentier said maybe Takayoshi had fouled it off. Carr's not going to be much help for that kind of call. As expected, they leave the runner on first. I've mentioned it before, things like that, potential foul balls, that's not something that umpires have to check with each other on. That's something that if you see, you would call. So rarely ever would you have them get together and they actually call a foul ball retroactively if one of them actually saw it. Here we go to the top of the order. Luke Saunders with 2 outs and Takayoshi on first. First pitch. Misses up high, and it's 1-0. Saunders 1 for 2 with a base hit and a ground out today. Had some trouble with something in his back pocket. Now ready to go. Here's the 1-0. Changes speeds, but misses low, and Johnson kicking some dirt around on the mound as he wants time called and now finally given to him so he can button back up his shirt. Johnson tends to leave the top couple buttons undone. Every once in a while it gets caught and will rip off a couple more. Buttons them back up and ready to go for the 2-0. One at the knees called a strike, and it's 2-1. Scoreboard missed the second pitch by Johnson. It is 2 balls and 1 strike with 2 outs. The runner on first for Luke Saunders. Throws over to first, and that throw close. Johnson again firing over. Why not? He had to play at third. He had to pick off at second. Why not a pick off at first to add to it? If Takayoshi does try to steal, he's got Carpentier's arm behind the plate to back him up. Though 2-1. Lined into left. Holder races to the line. The dive, and he's nowhere near it. It bounces off the wall right to him. He'll get it in. Takayoshi getting waved around to home. The throw gets past the cutoff. Carpentier doesn't have time to tag. The throw goes to third, and Luke Saunders is tagged out at third. The run does score by Tommy Takayoshi, sprinting from first as Taylor Holder fails to make the diving catch. A ball he probably should not have dove after, but got back to it quickly thanks to a favorable hop off the wall. Got it into the infield. It got past Bryce Martin Grudzelanek, who was the cutoff man, rolled all the way to home. Carpentier did not have enough time to pick up the ball and make the tag at home, but instead cannons one into third to get Luke Saunders trying to stretch it into a triple. So it's an RBI double for Saunders that ends the inning in the top of the fifth. The Lefties just took a 2-1 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. Pippins looking to tie things back up or possibly take the lead. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Spencer Marenko will lead things off here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. I want to take a moment to acknowledge a special listener celebrating a birthday tonight, Patty Matson. Patty Matson celebrating her birthday, watching at home as she does all the games here for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully your birthday is going well so far. Spencer Marenko leads off the bottom of the 5th with a line drive into left for a base hit. First base hit of the night for Spencer Marenko. And the Pippins with some early offense here in the 5th as they just fell behind 2-1. First pitch to the top of the order, Taylor Holder taken up high for a ball. Holder 0 for 2, reached on the error by third baseman Carson Crawford in the 3rd inning. Fouls that one off into the grandstands behind the Lefties dugout, and it's 1-1. Spencer Marenko on first, no outs for Taylor Holder, the left fielder. This is up high, and it's 2-1. Holder just had a bad read on that line drive. It was tailing away from him into the left field corner. Decided to try to dive after it, and really the ball ended up nowhere near him. Got the ball in quickly enough that the Pippins were able to make a play to get the last out of the inning after Takayoshi scored. Takes a called strike, and it's 2-2. Sato set and delivers, swung on and missed by Taylor Holder, and he goes down for out number 1. So here's Alex Shanks. 1 for 1, was hit by a pitch back in the 1st, had a base hit in the 3rd, but was doubled up to end that inning. Fouls one off back towards the backstop, and it's 0-1. Willie Lajoie on deck, who's 1 for 2, has a base hit and grounded into that double play. Soft throw over to first, and Spencer Marenko back in safely. Has not attempted a stolen base in league play yet. Sato set. Here's the first pitch to Alex Shanks. That one misses low, actually second pitch, and it's 1-1. Sato gets the sign from Takayoshi. The 1-1 in there for strike 2, and it's 1-2. Spencer Marenko looked like he might have been wanting to try to steal second, but was caught off guard by how quickly Sato pitched. Fouled off by Shanks to stay alive, and it's 1-2. Pippins have been leading since the bottom of the 1st inning when they scored 1 run, but the Lefties just scored 2 in the 5th. Another foul ball. That one went off the hand of Takayoshi, who was, the pitch was up high. He was coming up to try to throw down to first. Had his hand near his glove, and that's where the foul ball found his hand. So in the top of the 5th, with 1 out, Carson Crawford hits a solo home run to right field. And Tommy Takayoshi actually struck out, but reached on the drop third strike as the ball went all the way to the backstop. And Luke Saunders, with the line drive into left field, scored Takayoshi from first, and Saunders himself was thrown out at third, trying to stretch it into a triple. Here's the 1-2. Spencer does take off, swing and a miss by Shanks. The throw into second, not in time, and off target. Spencer Marenko steals second as Alex Shanks strikes out for out number 2. second strikeout of the inning, fourth of the game for Sato. Did not have a strikeout in the first 3 innings, then had 2 in the last inning and 2 this inning so far. Some pitchers down in the Lefties bullpen. Getting warm, if not warm already, in a conversation, perhaps based on pitch count or just how they want to approach Willie Lajoie with 2 outs and the runner on second. Sato will remain in the game. Lajoie, as I've said before, one of the tougher outs over the last couple of games. Last night, grounded into 2 double plays and then had just a regular ground out as there were 2 outs in his 3rd plate appearance. Before he got a base hit in his last at-bat to extend his hitting and on-base streak. Ran into a double play in his 2nd plate appearance here tonight after singling in his first, so got the streak continuance out of the way early. But the double play, and now bats with 2 outs and Spencer Marenko on second. First pitch taken up high for a ball. Sato comes set. Here's the 1-0. And that one taken low for ball 2. Sato with 62 pitches here in the bottom of the 5th. Misses up high. And it's 3-0. So 2 strikeouts for Sato after giving up the leadoff base hit to Spencer Marenko. But 3 straight balls to Willie Lajoie. Here's the 3-0 from Sato. That one taken for a called strike. So Lajoie now with a 3-1 count, looking for something to hit. The pitch lined back up the middle. Spencer Marenko will get waved around from second. He will score easily. The throw goes to second. Lajoie with an RBI base hit ties this game back up at 2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Just placed that one where it needed to go, right center field. Didn't try to do too much with the ball, put it in play. That is what has made Willie Lajoie so effective and why he hits out of the 3 spot. He can drive in some runs. Now his 15th RBI on the season. And with Noah Williamson behind him, that just makes the Pippins offense, this part of the order, even more dangerous. Pitching change for the Lefties. We'll have that for you when we return. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
So Preston Howie will take over for Kota Sato. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, after Sato gave up 2 hits, he struck out 2 in the inning as well. But the Lefties make the change after Lajoie hits an RBI base hit to tie the game back up at 2. Lajoie on first base, and up will step Noah Williamson. So it's a walked none in 4 2/3 innings pitched. Gave up 2 runs, 1 of them earned on 4 hits. Here's the first pitch from Howie. Williamson pops this one up to right, close to the line. Saunders near it. It bounces and called foul by the home plate umpire, who's nowhere near the first baseline. That was just a lot of things wrong on that play. Luke Saunders racing to the line. The ball bounced just foul. The fence out there not locked completely, so it came unlatched and started swinging. But the home plate umpire, Kelly Richmond, was not straddling the first baseline watching that ball come down. He was well in foul territory on the first base side, and I don't know how he makes that call without his view being obstructed by the players down in the bullpen for the Lefties, but seemed confident with the call. The Pippins do not question it. Here's the 0-1 to Williamson. That one bounces in, taken for a ball. Takayoshi took a second to find it, but Lajoie hangs out at first base. So 1 ball, 1 strike for Noah Williamson, who, had that ball been fair, would have had himself a base hit. I think there is something going on between the Pippins dugout and Kelly Richmond. Oh, he just needed baseballs. He took a few steps onto the grass and was looking into the Pippins dugout. I thought there might have been an issue. Some sort of continuation of last night's drama that happened between the umpires and really just all of the Pippins. 1 ball and 1 strike for Noah Williamson. Willie Lajoie on first and 2 outs. The Pippins just tied the game back up at 2. Timeout called by Williamson at the plate. Blake Dickman on deck. He's 1 for 2. Had a base hit in the 4th. Williamson had an RBI ground out in the 1st that drove in the first run of the game for the Pippins. Gave them a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 1st that they held all the way until the top of the 5th. Also struck out to lead off the bottom of the 4th. So 0 for 2 on the night, but with the RBI. Williamson digs back in. Preston Howie, the first batter he's faced. 1-1 count for Williamson. Pitch. Hit high, but foul. Into the stands, out of play. It's 1-2 for Noah Williamson. Williamson with 15 extra base hits now with the home run last night. 6 doubles, 4 triples, and 5 home runs. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Williamson. Line drive back up the middle. Garrett Lake will let it drop in front of him. It's a base hit for Noah Williamson with 2 outs. Put runners on first and second for Blake Dickman. Always a concern when you have a batter who hits as hard as Williamson does. He hit that one straight back up the middle, and the question just becomes, did he hit it too hard? Did he hit it right at the center fielder? Instead, it does drop in for a base hit. So 2 base hits in a row for the Pippins after 2 strikeouts. 3rd hit of the inning, and here's Blake Dickman looking for his 2nd hit of the game. Lajoie on second, Noah Williamson on first. Blake Dickman bats from the right side. Here's the pitch from Howie. Slider that breaks low and away for a ball. Howie brought in with 2 outs and Lajoie on first to face Williamson. Gave up the base hit. 2nd batter he's faced here is Blake Dickman. Michael Carpentier Jr. on deck. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed by Dickman. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tonight at the Ballpark Baseball Bingo Winning Wednesday, the 2nd of the season. First 200 fans given a bingo card full of baseball activities or events that could happen in a baseball game. And the first fan whose bingo card connects 5 in a row wins a prize package courtesy of St. Joe's Bingo and the Yakima Valley Pippins. Lined out of play by Blake Dickman, and it's 1-2. Tomorrow night, celebrate America Night, July 1st, as the Pippins will be on the road the 2nd through the 4th. That game scheduled start at 7:05 p.m. First 1,000 fans receive a souvenir red, white, and blue Yakima Valley Pippins hat, as well as fireworks after the game presented by Banner Bank. And it's Thirsty Thursday, presented by Northwest Peanut Company and Iron Horse Brewing. The 1-2 misses low and away, and Dickman with an even count, 2-2. So not one, but three reasons to come down to the ballpark tomorrow night for the 7:05 p.m. game. Expected to cool off a little bit. This game started at 91 degrees with a 9 o'clock start time. It should be not in the triple digits when the game starts tomorrow night. Here's the 2-2. Hit to the right side. That'll get past the infield. Lajoie waved around from third. Saunders will throw to the plate. It one-hops the plate. Lajoie scores. The throw goes to third. Williamson into third safely. And Blake Dickman with the RBI base hit moves to second on the throw. The Pippins take the lead for the second time today. They're up 3-2 in the bottom of the fifth. Well, Blake Dickman, who saw his hit streak come to an end last night, clean-shaven when he came in tonight, and 2 hits, one of them the RBI base hit that gives the Pippins back the lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Williamson moves to third. Dickman takes second on the throw that went home. No chance of getting Lajoie. Just kind of died out in right field, and Saunders' throw bounced a few times before it got to the plate. Takayoshi tried to come up, cut it off, and throw to third in time, but Williamson was quick around the bases, went first to third on the play, and slid in safely. So here's Michael Carpentier Jr. Fly out in a line out so far tonight, 0 for 2, looking for his first base hit. He's got 2 runners in scoring position. First pitch misses high and outside. It's 1-0 for Carpentier. Howie has given up 2 base hits to the first 2 batters he's faced since coming into this game. Carpentier laces one, but just pulls it foul. 15 feet to the left, and that one bounces off the right field corner. Would easily score 2. And depending on how well Saunders was able to play it off the corner, that would have taken an awkward ricochet. Carpentier might have had some extra bases, but instead that ball pulled foul, and it's 1-1. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. The 1-1 for Carpentier. Taking inside near the cleats, puts the stop sign up for Williamson at third. Williamson has been a little aggressive out on the base paths when he sees a ball in the dirt. Pippins just took a 1-run lead. If he can capitalize on a pass ball or a wild pitch, it would certainly help, as Pippins will take all the runs they can get. They could score only 2 last night compared to the 8 by the Lefties. Here's the 2-1. Just off the outside corner, and it's 3-1. Good take by Michael Carpentier Jr. Howie takes his time getting the sign. Now comes set. Here's the 3-1. That one off the plate. Carpentier walks to load the bases. And here's Connor Cabales, due for a hit. He's 0 for 2. Reached on an error by the shortstop in the 4th. Doesn't have an extra base hit yet on the season. Doesn't necessarily need one, but wouldn't hurt. Williamson on third base. Blake Dickman with some speed at second, and Carpentier on first. Infield playing back against Cabales. Here's the first pitch. That one taken at the knees for a called strike. Cabales taking all the way on that one after the walk issued to Carpentier. backing out of the windup timeout called at the plate. Timeout was called right after he started the windup, but was requested before, so granted by Kelly Richmond behind the plate. Out of the windup is Howie. Here's the 0-1. That one low and away, and Caballas with a 1-1 count. 2 outs, bases loaded here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pippins up 3-2, looking to add to it. Here's the 1-1. Soft grounder to the first baseman, Coleman Schmidt, who will underhand it to Howie for the 3rd out. So Preston Howie comes on with 2 outs and 1 runner on and ends up allowing 2 base hits, scoring the go-ahead run for the Pippins and walking to load the bases before inducing the ground out to Connor Caballas to finally get out of the inning. We head to the 6th. Pippins lead 3-2. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Michael Carpentier Jr. was on first base when Caballas grounded out to end the bottom of the 5th, so finally got his gear back on, and he's out now finishing the warm-up pitches for Kenny Johnson, who's thrown 5 complete innings, just gave up his first 2 runs of the game in the top of the 5th inning, which at this point feels like a long time ago. Giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned on 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. One of the runs, a solo home run to Carson Crawford. Tommy Takayoshi struck out with 2 outs, but reached after the ball got past Carpentier all the way to the backstop. And so with him on first, Luke Saunders hit a line drive to left field, tailing away from Taylor Holder, who dove after it and did not make the catch. So Takayoshi able to score. Saunders thrown out at third, trying to stretch it into a triple. That leaves Javi Espinoza to lead things off here in the top of the 6th. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Longest outing of the season for Kenny Johnson was the 3rd game of the season against Corvallis when he went 6 innings. Second pitch misses to Espinoza as well, and it's 2-0. That game against the Knights, he went 6 innings, gave up no runs on 3 hits. He was lights out that night, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. After that, turned in a 5-inning outing against Ridgefield in the 2nd game of the home series back on June 12th. A couple of non-league appearances, a little bit of a blow-up appearance in Ridgefield as he walks Javi Espinoza on 4 pitches. But then came back on Sunday against the Sweets and returned to form truly with 1 scoreless inning, struck out a batter in that one. Big confidence boost coming into this start. Got through 4 innings, was making plays. His defense was making plays. The 1 mistake to Crawford on the solo home run. The defensive mistake allowing Takayoshi to reach, and then the RBI double by Luke Saunders, the only blemish on his record so far. The leadoff batter aboard with the walk. Garrett Lake fouls off the first pitch he sees. Pippins lead 3-2 here in the top of the 6th inning. They scored 1 in the bottom of the 1st to take an early lead, led 1-0 into the 5th before those 2 runs. Gave the Lefties a temporary 2-1 lead, but then 2 runs for the Pippins in the bottom of the 5th gave them back the 1-run lead. Up high and misses. It's 1-1 for Garrett Lake. Here's the 1-1. Fouled back to the backstop, and it's 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Garrett Lake. Just off the plate, and it's 2-2. Lake bats from the left side, digs in. Espinoza on first, no outs here in the top of the 6th. Here's the 2-2. Checks his swing, fouls it off. So the 2-2 again. Runner takes off. Outside taken for a ball. Carpentier down to second. Had him out, but Cobalis boots it off his glove. So Javi Espinoza steals second after Cobalis fails to make the catch and tag. Carpentier put that exactly where it needed to go, right on the money. But Espinoza on second and a full count for Garrett Lake. Payoff pitch up high, and it's the second walk to start the inning here in the 6th. Pippins do have a couple of bodies out in the bullpen. Nobody had started getting warm, but now after the 2 walks, Kelly Fitzpatrick will head out for a quick chat, and they'll start to get someone throwing out there. I believe Owen Wild getting warm down in the bullpen for the Pippins. He pitched on Sunday as well as Kenny Johnson. Coleman Schmidt will bat with no outs and runners on first, second. I believe it's Owen Wild tossing down in the bullpen. I don't believe it's Joey Camerata because he pitched last night. First pitch up high, taken for a ball. Blake Dickman playing well on the infield grass. Bryce Martin Grudzlonic was playing a little in as well, now behind the third base bag for the potential sacrifice situation. They tried it in the first inning. Johnson threw to third to get the lead out. A 1-0 taken for a strike by Coleman Schmidt. Johnson has to find the strike zone again. He's effective in the zone. Even if he doesn't blow it by hitters, he usually induces weak contact just because of his ability to go inside, outside, high, and low. So Johnson set for the 1-1. Dickman still on the grass. Inside almost hits Schmidt, but misses for a ball. It's 2-1. Pippins just retook the lead. They lead 3-2 here in the top of the 6th. Johnson comes set. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed, and the count even, 2-2. And if you're the Pippins coaches, especially with a 2-2 count, you just want to see Johnson come right back at him. Throw the fastball over the plate, and either he'll hit it or he won't.
but walks are not what they need. They can't take the bat out of the batter's hand. Here's the 2-2. Outside. Pippins look down to the bullpen. Pitcher just started getting warm a few pitches ago. Not yet ready. 3-2. And it hit him on the back elbow. Oh, that's a tough place to take a ball. So would have been the third straight walk. Instead, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. And Kenny Johnson into some trouble after loading the bases with no outs. Head coach Kyle Crustangel will head out and more than likely take the baseball. They're going to make a change. We'll have that change for you when we return. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Owen Wild will take over on the mound after Kenny Johnson had some trouble throwing strikes there to start off the top of the 6th inning. We'll take you back to Sunday night to show you what can make Owen Wild so successful on the mound. He's good when he goes right after batters. He can change location, go in, out, up, and down. He watched the first at-bat as he works through, goes in, out, up, down, induces weak contact for a ground ball. And then he faces off against Paul Myro, who's one of the better eyes on the team for the Walla Walla Sweets, who they played back on Sunday. Goes right after him and ends up locating strike 3 right at the top of the zone. So for Owen Wild, the same for Kenny Johnson. They really profile similarly. Hard-throwing righties who are most effective when they just go right after batters and throw strikes. Don't try to do anything too fancy. Get ahead early, 0-2. Then maybe waste the pitch, but then come right back at him. And when they locate, they are on, as we saw with Kenny Johnson through the first 5 innings. And we hope to see here with no outs and the bases loaded as Owen Wild takes over here in the top of the 6th inning. You will face Shea Thomas, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Reached on grounded into a fielder's choice to end the first and struck out swinging in the 4th against Johnson. Corners play in, middle infielders at double play depth with no outs and the bases loaded. The first pitch. Grounder to Spencer Marenko at second. Tough play. Doesn't make it cleanly over to first, and it gets past Dickman. The runner started taking off for home, but now 2 runners at third base. Carpentier will run them back. It's the first runner back to third, now chasing the second to second. Overthrows second base, and the Pippins start to fall apart on this play. The run scores the second run of the play. Javi Espinoza had already scored as Spencer Marenko attempted to turn the double play. On the second effort, tried to make the play at first, but it got past Dickman. So Garrett Lake thought about trying to go home. Coleman Schmidt, who had moved up to second, thought that Lake was going, so he took off for third. 2 runners were at third. Carpentier ran them back. Lake stayed at third. Schmidt went back to second, and Carpentier tried to retire him, but overthrew the second baseman. Ball skipped into right field, and the second run scored in the form of Garrett Lake. So Shea Thomas reaches on the error. And that's 2 runs for the Lefties. They now lead 4-3. First pitch fouled off by Trevor Tashenkel. So they got the ground out they were looking for. It was softer than they were hoping for and would have been a tough double play. And Spencer Marenko tried to turn too quickly to throw to second, lost it, and then rushed himself on the throw to first. So he got no outs and instead gave up the second run. 0-1 misses high, and it's 1-1. Owen Wild, for his part, he did what he was supposed to do. He induced the weak contact, the ground out. And he's got to make sure that doesn't get in his head now, that the 2 runs have crossed the plate. He's just got to stick to the game plan. The 1-1 swung on and missed, and it's 1-2 for Tashenko. Still no outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Lefties just took a 4-3 lead as this game goes back and forth. Dickman plays behind the runner, Shea Thomas, at first. Cavalis behind Coleman Schmidt at second. Off the inside of the bat and fouled away. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic playing about even with the third base bag. Middle infielders playing near second for the potential double play ball. Pippins had looked much better defensively. And then all of a sudden, 2 errors on the same play allows 2 runs to score here in the 6th. That one skips away from Carpentier. Runners will move up without a throw. Wild taps his chest, acknowledging that was his bat on the pitch. And same story for the defense as it is for Owen Wild. They have to make sure that those 2 errors are the only 2 errors they make. They can't allow this to continue spiraling for them. First one, or that pitch low and away. It's now full count for Trevor Tashenko as Wild has to throw some strikes. Has first base open, but came on with the bases loaded, and Pippins failed to turn the double play. Much better to get a strikeout here. Runners on second and third, infield playing in, no outs. Lefties up by 1. Wild set. Here's the pitch to Tashenko. Chopper up the middle. Will get past the infield playing back, and both runners will score as Noah Williamson gathers it and throws it on to second. So playing in backfires against the Pippins. They've given up 4 runs here in the top of the 6th inning. So Carson Crawford hits his last at-bat, had a solo home run back in the top of the 5th inning. That tied the game at 1 at that time. Lefties then took a 2-1 lead. Pippins came back with 2 of their own in the bottom of the 5th to make it 3-2. But 4 runs here in the 6th after Kenny Johnson walks the first 2 batters he sees and hits the 3rd. Was pulled for Owen Wild, who looked like he had a ground out, but thrown away by Spencer Marenko, and they had a rundown, but Michael Carpentier Jr. throws one away, and another hard-hit line drive by Carson Crawford. This one goes off the top of the wall in the left field corner. The throw goes to third. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic is going to have to show the baseball. He does, and Trevor Tashenko out going first to third on the play. So Taylor Holder, who shows the home field advantage, played that one off the wall perfectly. Got the throw in. Tashenko thought he had third without a trouble. It's a double for Carson Crawford. Very nearly a home run here at Yakima County Stadium. That's the first out of the inning. Holder played that off the wall. One-hop Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. Played it kind of awkwardly, but had enough time to gather it and make the tag on Tashenko, but the glove was underneath the runner, so he had to pull it out before Mike Carr would call him out. He did, and Carr obliged with the punch out. First pitch fouled off by Jack Holman. It's 0-1. Holman 0 for 2 tonight. Runner on second, 1 out. Lefties lead 6-3. Jack Holman, the DH tonight, started behind the plate last night for the Lefties. Wild looks back at second. Here's the pitch up high, and he goes after it. It's 0-2. Wild, generally when he's on, very effective at getting guys to swing at that high fastball. There's something about it coming out of his hand that is very deceptive. Looks back at second again. The 0-2 just below the knees, and misses for the first ball to Jack Holman. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes for Jack Holman. Owen Wild steps off to look Crawford back to second. Mike Carr making some comments to Owen Wild. I'm not sure, something about, looked like he was talking about the glove of Owen Wild. Maybe what he was doing, saw something that could be considered illegal out on the mound. Here's the 1-2 now. Checked his swing on the slider, got past Carpentier and the umpire by the time Crawford realized. Too late. I don't know what Holman is favoring something. I don't know. It looks like his foot. I don't know if he got stepped on. I don't know how he could have. The only thing I can think of is when Carpentier jumped out of the crouch to head back behind him, is he stepped on Holman. It's the only possible explanation. I don't know what else it could have been. He didn't get hit by the pitch. Ball went between the legs, through the 5-hole of Carpentier and between the legs of the umpire. But by the time Crawford realized the ball was behind Carpentier, it was too late for him to take off. 2 balls and 2 strikes when Holman is able to get back in the box. I'm going to go with Carpentier stepped on his foot. They kind of high-fived each other as he came back to the batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Holman. 1 out, and Carson Crawford at second. Right side of the infield playing back against Holman. The pitch. Off the hands, Owen Wild picks it up, will underhand it to first. Crawford moves over to third, and that's the second out of the inning. That's exactly what I'm talking about, the weak contact that Owen Wild induces. That one was just past the hands of Jack Holman, where he hit it on the bat, on the handle. And just a soft tapper right back to Owen Wild, who got off the mound, made the play, and underhanded to Dickman at first. So 2 outs now, runner on third. The Lefties lead 6-3 in the top of the 6th. Owen Wild trying to get out of here. Tommy Takayoshi to bat. First pitch, bounces off home plate. Bryce Martin Grudzel on it. Great short hop play over to first in time, and they do get out of the inning, but not before 4 runs cross the plate. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Lefties lead 6-3. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
It's a cloud of uncertainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. The Lefties took a 6-3 lead with a 4-run top of the sixth. See how the Pippins respond in the bottom of the sixth. They'll have 8, 9, and 1 batting. Bryce Martin, Gredzalonic, Spencer Marenko, and Taylor Holder. Tonight's sixth inning is brought to you by Yakima Pediatric Dentistry, located at 3909 Creekside Loop in Yakima. Yakima Pediatric Dentistry offers specialized care for infants, kids, and teens in a safe, fun environment for children as they begin their lifetime journey to maintaining a healthy smile. Pippins have scored the first run of the game in the bottom of the first, led 1-0 into the fifth. The Lefties took a temporary 2-1 lead with 2 runs in the fifth thanks to a home run and an RBI double. But then Pippins scored 2 more in the bottom of the fifth to regain the lead 3-2 before that 4-run inning, started by 2 walks and a hit by pitcher by Kenny Johnson. His day was done. Owen Wild came on. And an error by Spencer Marenko and Michael Carpentier Jr. on the same play allowed 2 runs to score before the 2-run base hit by Trevor Tashenko. First pitch taken for a ball. Second pitch fouled off by Bryce Martin Gredzalonic. He's got a 1-1 count here to lead off the bottom of the sixth. Spencer Marenko behind him. Taylor Holder on deck. Preston Howie out for first full inning of work. Came on with 2 outs and 1 runner on in the bottom of the fifth. Allowed a base hit to Noah Williamson and another base hit by Blake Dickman that scored the second run of the inning. And walked Carpentier to load the bases before getting Kobalas to ground out to first base. Fouled off again by Bryce, and it's 1-2. Infield playing deep. Popped up, foul territory. That'll tail out of play on the first base side. So it's still 1-2 for Bryce Martin Gredzalonic. Infielders playing almost all the way at the outfield grass. Corners a few steps onto the dirt against Bryce Martin Gredzalonic. Outfield playing straight up. Here's the 1-2. Up high. And it's 2-2 to Bryce. This game has been a back and forth one, unlike last night when the Lefties took a 6-0 lead in the first inning on 4 errors by the Pippins. Gredzalonic takes the ball up high to fill up the count. First batter of the inning. Howie threw the windup. Here's the payoff pitch. Up high, and Bryce Martin Gredzalonic walks to lead off the bottom of the sixth. Pippins have the leadoff runner aboard for 2 innings in a row. And here's Spencer Marenko, who led off the bottom of the fifth with a single, stole second, and scored on the base hit by Willie Lajoie to tie the game up at 2 in the bottom of the fifth. Top of the order, Taylor Holder on deck for the Pippins. Howie works out of the stretch, set and delivers. Right at the letters, called strike. Bryce on first. Here's the 0-1 to Spencer Marenko. Up high and takes that one for a ball. It's 1-1. Spencer 1 for 2 tonight. Flew out in the third before that base hit in the fifth. Scored his 6th run of the season. His first stolen base of the season for Spencer Marenko. Brother Mason had his first one last night. Here's the 1-1. That one on the inside corner called strike, and it's 1-2. Howie looks over at first, now comes set. 1-2. Inside, just off the plate. Looks similar to the one he just called a strike. That borderline, but this time called a ball. Pippins will take it. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Spencer Marenko, getting the start at second base here tonight. Looks like for the time being, that position might go back and forth between him and his brother. Takes up high, and it's a full count. Mason started there last night as well as on Sunday, and Spencer there the game before. Most of the infielders on the Pippins roster can play second, third, and shortstop. So 3-2, no outs. The payoff pitch down low. Spencer swings at it and misses for out number 1. First strikeout by Preston Howie. So here's Taylor Holder, 0 for 3 on the night. Reached on an error back in the third. Bats with Bryce Martin Gredzalonic on first base. A lot of players getting loose down in the Lefties bullpen. One of them actually throwing off the mound at this point. Nobody in the bullpen for the Pippins. First pitch to Holder. And that one inside, taken for a called ball. Howie with the 1-0, popped up, foul, and out of play on the first base side. 1-1 for Holder. Around the West Coast League, Bellingham at Ridgefield. Ridgefield, another high-scoring game for the Raptors. They defeated Bellingham 15-10. And Portland at Wenatchee tonight. Portland won 7-2 against the Apple Sox. Here's the 1-1 to Taylor Holder, just low and called a ball. It's 2-1. Other games going on. Cowlitz and Walla Walla tied at 4 in the top of the 9th. Walla Walla might be headed for yet another extra inning game. And Corvallis at Bend. Corvallis with a 1-run lead, 5-4 over the Elks in the bottom of the 7th. Taylor Holder swings and misses at the pitch up high, and it's 2-2. The Pippins will visit Bend this weekend, Friday through Sunday, after the series conclusion tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. Celebrate America Night with fireworks after the game, presented by Banner Bank. And the first 1,000 fans receive a souvenir red, white, and blue hat. Here's the 2-2 to Holder. Side swung on and missed, and Taylor Holder goes down swinging for the second time tonight. So the leadoff walk, but then 2 outs for Preston Howie. And it looks like he might have reached his pitch limit here in the bottom of the 6th inning after coming on in the 5th. Took a while for him to get that last out in the 5th. Pitcher that was ready to make the jog in, but no signal yet. And they are going to take him out. Some very complicated body language going on the mound, but Preston Howie's day is done. We'll have the pitching change for you as we continue with the bottom of the 6th. In just a moment, you're tuning in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Caden Lewis will take over on the mound for Preston Howie, who recorded 3 outs, the last out in the 5th after giving up a pair of base hits and a walk, and then the first 2 outs after walking a batter in the 6th. Lewis comes on with Bryce Martin Grudzelanek leading off on first, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. He will face Alex Shanks. Lewis, a left-hander from Edmonds Community College, has a few different players are here for the Lefties. Pippins came into this game at the top of the North Division, 10-6 record following the loss last night. They lead over the Walla Walla Swedes, who are currently 8-8 as they finish their game tonight. 2 games behind the Pippins. Wenatchee 8-12 and Bellingham 8-12. They both lost already today, so they're now 4 games back, awaiting the results of this game. And the Port Angeles Lefties, who the Pippins are playing tonight, are 5-8, 3.5 games back, looking to close the gap and make a run from the bottom. As I mentioned at the beginning of last night's game, the Lefties have played the least amount of games out of any of the teams in the North Division. The first pitch should be a balk. That was a grotesque move from Caden Lewis, who throws to first to pick off Bryce Martin Grudzelanek. No conversation from the umpires. And so Bryce Martin Grudzelanek is picked off of first. Caden Lewis came about as far down the mound as you could possibly go. Apparently with this officiating crew, would not get called for a balk. We head to the 7th. No score from the Pippins after the pickoff. Lefties lead 6-3. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Owen Wild will continue his work here in the top of the 7th inning. Came on with the bases loaded and no outs as Kenny Johnson had walked the first 2 batters of the 6th inning and then hit the 3rd to load the bases. Shea Thomas had hit a weak grounder to second base that Spencer Marenko couldn't play clean enough to turn the double play, and then bounced it to Blake Dickman at first. It got past Dickman and allowed the first run to score, and then they had Coleman Schmidt in a rundown between second and third, but Michael Carpenter Jr. threw the ball away. So 2 errors on 1 play allowed 2 runs to score, and then a 2-run base hit by Trevor Tashenko gave the Lefties their 6-3 lead. In the bottom of the 6th, Bryce Martin Grudzelanek walked to lead off the inning. Then 2 strikeouts by Preston Howie. The Lefties turned to a lefty, Caden Lewis, who picked off Bryce Martin Grudzelanek with that deceptive move left-handers get to use, picking up the leg and stepping towards first, although in his case he did not step very far towards first, and could have potentially been interpreted as a balk, but was not by the particular crew here at Yakima County Stadium. 1 ball and 1 strike for Luke Saunders, and takes strike 2. It's 1-2 to lead off the top of the 7th. Kyle Crestangel went out for a chat with the umpires in between the innings. Mike Carr unsympathetic. Here's the 1-2, fouled away. As he was last night as well to any of the arguments Kyle Crustangel brought to their attention. Michael Carpenter Jr. also headed out and had a conversation with Kelly Richmond about, the problem is if the pitcher's allowed to make that kind of move throughout the game, it's impossible to hit against him. High line drive, I should say low line drive that Spencer Marenko almost leapt up and made the catch instead of the leadoff base hit by Luke Saunders. There has to be a limit to how far down the mound a lefty can come on that pickoff to first, because otherwise he can decide whenever he wants whether he wants to throw if he's allowed to stride as far as he did on that previous pickoff. And the Bach rules are there to protect the runners from plays that are intentionally deceptive like that. First pitch swung on and missed by Javi Espinoza. I mean, Bryce Martin Grudzelanek didn't even start his secondary until the foot of Caden Lewis came down on the mound because he knew about the possibility of that play and was waiting to see if he was going to deliver, and he had come forward, decided to take a secondary, and that's when they threw to first. They throw back to first here, and Luke Saunders slides in safely as Dickman unable to get the glove back to make the tag. So 1-1 for Javi Espinoza. That's probably about the last I'll talk about that pickoff. Don't want to beat a dead drum. So 1 ball and 1 strike for Javi Espinoza. Wild set. Here's the pitch. Up high, misses. It's 2-1. In other news, and filed under reasons to come out to the ballpark this season, in between the bottom of the 6th and the top of the 7th here, we had the Legends Casino dice roll that one lucky fan each game gets to play with an opportunity to win up to $500. And we had the first $500 winner of the season. So one lucky fan came out to a night baseball game and will leave $500 richer. That could be you if you make your way out to Yakima County Stadium sometime this season. Javi Espinoza swung and missed at the 2-1. He's behind 2-2. No outs, runner on first. Here's the pitch from Wild. And that one swung on and missed. Wild's first strikeout of his appearance. And that will bring Garrett Lake to the plate. Walked in his last plate appearance. Actually walked in his last 2 plate appearances. He's 0 for 1 tonight after grounding into a fielder's choice in the first. In the South Division, Corvallis on top with a 14-5 record, best record in the West Coast League right now. First pitch to Lake, taken for a called strike. Saunders had taken off, but then stopped at first with the lefty at the plate. Richfield Raptors at 12-8, following the win over Bellingham. They're 2.5 games back. Portland Pickles 9-8 behind them, and Bend 8-11, and Cowlitz 6-10. At the bottom of that division. Bend finally getting their way out of the cellar. A very slow start to the season for them. Another called strike to Garrett Lake, who's behind 0-2 with 1 out and the runner on first. I started mentioning during the last half inning the Bend Elks, or rather the Port Angeles Lefties have played the least amount of games of the teams in the North Division. The 0-2 fouled off back to the backstop. Meaning that although they came into this weekend at the bottom of the division and are still in the bottom of the division, they have a chance to go on a run here at the end of the first half and make their way up the standings. Nothing set in stone for them. No balls and 2 strikes again for Lake. That one misses low and taken. It's 1-2. Luke Saunders had a leadoff base hit, the strikeout by Javi Espinoza. 1 out, 1 on. ball and 2 strikes. Lefties lead 6-3 here in the top of the 7th inning, after scoring 2 in the 5th and 4 in the 6th. Here's the 1-2. That one taken low again. Wild has to get back to the strike zone. Can't lose late here. Wild checks on Saunders at first. Now time called by Lake at the plate. Wild now comes set for the 2-2. And delivers. Lined into left field. Taylor Holder, slow read on it. All of a sudden it was out in front of him and makes the catch for out number 2. That was almost a scary situation for the Pippins on a routine line drive. Taylor Holder looked like he had it read, and then all of a sudden it was out in front of him, and he fell forward to his knees to make the catch before it hit the ground. And the Lefties are going to run for Luke Saunders at first, it looks like. Potentially. Oh, no, they're just running some water out to Saunders. That's an interesting ploy. Mike Carr signals there was no coaching going on, so not charged with the offensive conference. Teams get 1 offensive timeout to talk to their players in inning, and not charged there thanks to the international spy level eavesdropping performed by Mike Carr to make sure no funny business at first base. Just a water break for Luke Saunders. Here's Coleman Schmidt, 2 outs, 1 runner on. First pick, checks his swing, takes it for a called strike. The throw gets down easily for Luke Saunders. And, well, he tried to test the arm of Michael Carpentier Jr. and without the cover of the left-handed hitter, easily thrown out at second on the delayed steal. Pippins will stretch here in the 7th. Lefties lead 6-3. We'll be right back. You tune into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. The Pippins trailing 6-3 into the bottom of the 7th inning. They had a runner on who was picked off by the left-hander Caden Lewis, who will face off against Alex Shanks, who was standing at the plate when Lewis picked off Bryce Martin Grudzelanek to end the 6th inning. It will be Shanks, Lajoie, and Williamson, 2-3 and 4 for the Pippins as they look to claw back from this 3-run deficit. First pitch from Lewis thrown is fouled off by Shanks. Shanks, who bats from the right side. Here against the left-hander Lewis, did not throw a single pitch when he came on in the 6th with 2 outs. Grounded to the shortstop, Shea Thomas. Picked cleanly and thrown over to first in time for the first out. That'll bring Willie Lajoie to the plate, 2 for 3 so far tonight. Pair of base hits. One of them drove in the second run of the game for the Pippins. Also grounded into a double play back in the third inning. Has now driven in 15 runs and scored 16 of them himself. Here's the first pitch. Try to go backdoor breaking ball, stays up high and away, and it's 1-0 for Lajoie. Lewis set. Here's the 1-0. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Lewis works out of the stretch with nobody on. Infield playing back against Willie Lajoie. Noah Williamson, the big bat on deck. Here's the 1-1 to Lajoie. Tries to go the other way and fouls it off out of play first base side. It's 1-2. Lajoie, when he swings, his back foot moves away from home plate whenever he makes contact. Sort of an unconventional swing in that way. Here's the 1-2 from Lewis. Backdoor slider and fouled off again. It's 1-2. As the wind starts to pick up here at night at Yakima County Stadium, the weather 85 degrees now from 91 at first pitch. So this has turned into a nice cool summer night, a great night for baseball. Here's the 1-2 to Lajoie. Hard hit grounder left side, sliding as Carson Crawford gets back to his feet and over to first in time. Willie Lajoie grounds out for out number 2. 2 quick ground outs for Caden Lewis to start the 7th. And here's Noah Williamson. 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI ground out as well as a base hit. Struck out in the 4th. Williamson homered last night, one of the 2 runs that were scored for the Pippins. Solo home run by him. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch, and he's behind 0-1. Home run was hit to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning. He hit it 423 feet. Just right of center. Big blue Go Pippins banner bank sign. Here's the 0-1. Inside corner, strike 2 for Williamson. Looked like that pitch kind of froze him a little bit. So no balls and 2 strikes for Noah Williamson. Probably will get anything but a fastball at this count with 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the pitch from Lewis. It is a backdoor slider, stays outside, and it's 1-2. See if Lewis goes back to the backdoor slider, seeing if he can get the call or if he'll try with a fastball. Here's the 1-2. Backdoor slider. Williamson grounds it up the middle. Shea Thomas to it. The throw on the run gets past the first baseman, and Noah Williamson on after the throwing error by the shortstop. Coleman Schmidt with a diving effort trying to keep that ball in front of him, but wasn't able to, and Williamson reaches. First batter aboard here in the 7th. So Blake Dickman will bat, 2 outs, and Williamson on first. Dickman base hits in both of his last 2 at-bats. One of them the RBI base hit that drove in the 3rd run of the game for the Pippins. Gave them a 3-2 lead at the time in the bottom of the 5th. Throw over to first. That move from Lewis, and Williamson was barely off the bag because A, he knows Lewis has the move, and B, he knows the umpires will give him plenty of leeway. Looks a little bit extra off the bag, and they'll throw over to first again. Lewis stepping more towards first base on these two throws. See if he even decides to throw a pitch or if he'll just keep throwing over. Got a move that works. Why not keep using it? 2 outs, 1 runner on for Blake Dickman. He does throw a pitch, and it's outside for a ball. Williamson has taken probably one extra half step on his lead with each successive pickoff and now pitch as Dickman fouls one off, and it's 1-1. So 2 groundouts to start the inning. No Williamson almost the third, but Shea Thomas making the throw on the run. Threw it too far away from Coleman Schmidt. 1 ball, 1 strike for Blake Dickman. Catches at the knees, and it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes for Dickman, 2 for 3 tonight. The pitch, grounded third base, played before the hop by Carson Crawford, who throws to second and makes the out there on Noah Williamson. So Blake Dickman grounds into the fielder's choice after Williamson reaches on the air. Pippins get 1 runner aboard but stranded. We head to the 8th. Lefties lead 6-3. We'll be right back. You're tuning into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
It's a cloud of uncertainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium as Owen Wild will continue his work here into the 8th inning. Pinch hitter for the Port Angeles Lefties. It is Taku Kataoka. He hits for Coleman Schmidt, who was at the plate when Luke Saunders was thrown out trying to steal second base. First pitch to Kataoka. Line third base side out of play into the parking lot here at Yakima County Stadium. 4, 5, and 6 for the Lefties here in the 8th inning. That one misses off the outside edge, and it's 1-1. Pippins scored first in the bottom of the first with 1 run. The Lefties took a 2-1 lead in the top of the 5th. But the Pippins scored 2 to make it 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th. The Lefties responded right away, getting on Kenny Johnson, taking 2 walks, and the third batter of the 6th inning was hit by a pitch for Johnson was pulled in favor of Owen Wild. The Lefties took advantage of a couple of errors, a couple of timely base hits, scored 4 runs in the 6th, and they lead 6-3. The Pippins haven't scored since the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Taku Kataoka. Here's the 2-2 from Wild. Fouled off to the netting above the Pippins dugout. Keeps himself alive here. Carpentier now thrown out 7 of 15 would-be base stealers this season, almost half. After the Luke Saunders caught stealing in the 7th, another foul ball. And the count still 2-2. Austin Plante taking over ball boy duties here tonight with Kenny Johnson getting the start. Likes to keep himself in the game by helping out around the field. Here's the 2-2. Chopper right side. Spencer Marenko will try to glove it to first, just not in time as Taku Kataoka beats out the infield single to start the top of the 8th. Spencer did what he had to do. He got to it as quickly as possible and knew he didn't have time to get into his hand, so he just tossed it from his glove. But just not in time as Kataoka too quick down the line. So here's Shea Thomas who will bat for the Lefties. With Kataoka on first and no outs in the top of the 8th. They look to extend their 3-run lead. Wild throws over to first. And no tag applied by Blake Dickman. Thomas 0 for 3 tonight. Reached on an error. Line to right field. Bounces fair into the right field corner. Alex Shanks will play it off the wall. Throw it to the infield. Kataoka held up at third. The throw goes to second. And Shea Thomas thrown out by Alex Shanks on the throw from the right field corner. Alex Shanks continues to flash the arm. So Kataoka moves first to third on the play, but 1 out and just the 1 runner on for the Lefties. As the wind begins to pick up again here at Yakima County Stadium. Here's Trevor Tashenko who bats from the left side. The Pippins infield will play in against him with 1 out and the runner on third. Lines that one out of play, third base side. It was Tashenko who batted with runners on second and third back in the 6th inning. Infield played in and he hit a chopper up the middle that just bounced over too high and into center field to score both runs. The 0-1 misses high and away, and it's 1-1. Here he bats with just the runner on third, and the infield comes in again with 1 out. Lightning can't strike twice, right? Here's the 1-1 to Tashenko. Hits softly to Dickman at first, looks the runner back, and steps on the bag for out number 2. And so playing in works that time, keeps Kataoka at third, and gets the 2nd out. So here's Carson Crawford. Solo home run in the 5th, tied the game up at 1 at that point. Then hit a double in the 6th. Timeout called right before Wild, about to come set by Kelly Fitzpatrick, who heads out for a quick chat. Nobody down warming up in the bullpen for the Pippins. Somebody looks like they're starting to get up and active. So Fitzpatrick will go over things with Owen Wild. Came on in the 6th inning with the bases loaded and no outs. The has so far made it through 2 2/3 innings. Giving up 5 hits along the way. 1 run it was not earned due to that error back in the 6th. No walks and 1 strikeout for Owen Wild. Wild tends to strike out a couple more batters over this time period just by the nature of his style of pitching. Mostly a swing and miss guy. So here's Carson Crawford now, infield playing back again with 2 outs and the runner on third. The Lefties lead 6-3. The first pitch from Wild over the heart of the plate, called strike for Carson Crawford. Crawford 2 for 3 tonight, double home run and strikeout. Here's the 0-1 from Wild. Tried to find that low outside corner, but just misses, and it's 1-1 to Crawford. Here's the 1-1. That one misses up high, and it's 2-1 for Carson Crawford. Someone starting to stretch out in the Pippins bullpen. Case Wild is unable to get out of this inning. But with the 3-run lead already for the Lefties, this Wild might be asked to just get out of this inning regardless. Called strike for Carson Crawford on the ball that skipped away from Michael Carpentier Jr. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for the third baseman. Now adjusts his batting gloves before he steps back in. Gets some fresh pine tar off the bat. And ready. Wild looks in, comes set. Hands just below the shoulders, the 2-2 up high, and Crawford lays off. The count is full. Wind has come and gone here at Yakima County Stadium. Sometimes picks up, sometimes dies down. Right now, relatively calm. The flag's out in right field. A little bit of movement. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed, and Owen Wild, his second strikeout of the outing, strikes out Carson Crawford to get out of the 8th. Lefties still lead 6-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back. You're tuning in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Be an energy efficiency hero. Install high-efficiency natural gas equipment, and you can be just like Cascade's most energy-efficient player of the game. Match his ERA of $710. Put some runs on the board by upgrading your furnace, improving your home's insulation, and switching to a condensing tankless water heater. Cascade's bench is deep with both residential and commercial incentives. Check them out at our website or give us a call and be an energy efficiency player of the game.
What's worse than standing in line at concessions? Now you can satisfy your appetite while remaining in your seat. With the mobile app Fan Food, you simply select Express Pickup and order your food. It is that simple. You deserve a VIP experience. Download Fan Food today.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Shea Thomas has moved from shortstop to first base for the Port Angeles Lefties. And Nick Oakley has come on to play shortstop. So Oakley likely taking up the spot in the lineup that was occupied by Coleman Schmidt before Taku Kataoka pinch hit in the top of the 8th. Michael Carpentier Jr. leads things off here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Lefty-lefty matchup. Carpentier against Caden Lewis. Tonight's 8th inning brought to you by the Yakima Herald Republic. For all game reports and news about the Pippins, read the Yakima Herald Republic either in print or online. The Yakima Herald Republic, they tell the Pippins stories, and Carpentier almost telling another story with another deep line drive, but pulled that one just foul. It's 1-1 for the catcher. Threw out a base runner back in the 7th inning. It was Luke Saunders that ended that 7th inning. Here's the 1-1. Fouls one off, and it's 1-2. Walked back in the 5th inning as well. Loaded the bases. But Preston Howie induced a ground out by Connor Kobalis after that to end that 5th inning. The Pippins had taken a 3-2 lead at that point. Then in the 6th, the Lefties put 4 on the board, and they lead 6-3. That's the way the score has sat since. The 1-2 misses low and away. It popped up off the glove of Tommy Takayoshi and ended up landing on top of the head of home plate umpire Kelly Richmond. Lewis set. Here's the 2-2 to Carpentier. Slider that caught him looking. That was a good-looking slider. Carpentier just did not have a good read on that one. Looked like it started inside and broke over the plate. Little front door slider. And so here's Connor Kobalis, 0 for 3 tonight. Couple of ground outs, almost a third one, but instead reached on the error by Shea Thomas, who was at shortstop at the time. Nick Oakley now over there as Thomas takes over at first. And watching Thomas in between the innings, warming up at first base, Pippins would benefit the Pippins if they can get any balls in play. Ball in the Lefties bullpen went onto the field of play. Bullpen's always slow to inform the umpires that there's a ball out there. As I was saying, Thomas did not look the most comfortable at first base, fielding the warm-up throws in between the innings. The Pippins want to get some balls in play on the ground here and might be able to take advantage of some inexperience by Thomas. Here's the 0-1 to Kobalis. Outside corner called strike, and it's 0-2. Lewis working quickly, caught Michael Carpentier Jr. looking for the first out. Has an 0-2 count against Connor Kobalis. Here's the pitch. Fouled off by Kobalis, and it's still 0-2. The 0-2 again. Inside, takes the pitch and call the ball. It's 1-2. Takayoshi likes to sell those close pitches. Points down to his pitcher, maybe jogs out. And hasn't gotten many of those calls on close ones. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch to Kobalis, inside and low again. And it's 2-2. Kobalis bats from the right side against the lefty Lewis. Here's the 2-2. Inside again, and the count is full. All 3 balls have been just off the inside corner to Kobalis after he fell behind 0-2 and fouled the pitch off. Bryce Martin Grudzalanek on deck. He's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Payoff pitch to Kobalis. Hits it the other way, just foul past Mike Carr, the field umpire, who jumped out of the way. It's the second time today he's had to make an athletic move to get out of the way of a ball. So 3 balls and 2 strikes again. The pitch from Lewis. low, and he walks Connor Cabales after getting out in front 0-2 to start the at-bat. So 1 out, Cabales on first, and here's Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. Has not faced Lewis yet today. The first pitch taken outside for a ball. However, he was on first base when Lewis came into the game. And that pickoff move that the Pippins were not a fan of that fooled Bryce Martin Grudzalonic at first base. How could it not? So he was picked off to end the 6th inning. Here's the 1-0 as Lewis throws over to first. Cabales back in safely. Bryce just graduated from Torrey Pines High School, on his way to UCLA in the fall. Stops over here, spends the summer in Yakima. Here's the 1-0. Inside and low, and that's a called strike. I apologize for that one. So 1 ball and 1 strike for Bryce Martin Grudzalonic. Hit over 300 in both of his first 2 high school seasons. The 2020 season, of course, disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. And then hit 363 for Torrey Pines in all 31 games of the season for them. Finds a way to get the ball in play and get on. Fouls one off, and it's 1-2. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic digs back in, 1-2 count. Connor Cabales on first base, and 1 out here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Lefties up 6-3. The pitch grounded to the first baseman, Shea Thomas, throws to second and over to first. Not in time. Bryce Martin Grudzalonic beats it out to prevent the double play as Thomas made a great play over to second. It just pulled Nick Oakley off the bag a little bit, so he had to spend a second touching the bag before he could throw over, and Bryce Martin Grudzalonic capitalized on that. He reaches on the fielder's choice. Still 2 outs in the inning. And here's Spencer Marenko with Bryce Martin Grudzalonic on first. He was the first and only runner picked off of first by Caden Lewis. So, of course, Lewis throws back over. Every pitcher wants to put 2 in their trophy case if they can, especially the lefties. Bryce with a rather large lead at first with the move that Lewis has. Here's the first pitch up high for Spencer Marenko, taken for a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes. Spencer Marenko, top of the order on deck. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and it's 1-1. Singled to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Stole second base and scored on the single by Willie Lajoie to tie the game at 2 at that point in the 5th inning. Other than that, has a fly out and a strikeout here tonight. Here's the 1-1. Popped up foul territory, and that will get blown out of play by the wind. 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes for Spencer Marenko with Bryce Martin Grudzalonic on first. Lewis comes set. Looks over at first. Delivers the 1-2 backdoor slider that nobody was home on, and it's 2-2. Like I said, Bryce with a rather large lead compared to the other runners who've reached against Lewis. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off by Spencer to stay alive. It caught a piece of the foot of Tommy Takayoshi, who's been taking a little bit of a beating behind the plate for the lefties. Took a foul ball off the hand earlier. Now takes one off the foot. So the count remains 2-2 for Spencer Marenko. Lewis set. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed, and Spencer Marenko goes down swinging for the second time tonight. Third out in the inning, second strikeout of the inning for Caden Lewis. We take it to the ninth. Lefties look to add to their 6-3 lead. We'll be right back. You're tuning to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Sure glad we went to Les Schwab.
I'm glad the baby's still happy.
Well, I'm just glad that along with tires, Les Schwab also does brakes, alignment, and a bunch of other safety services. I mean, if we'd gone to a cheap tire store instead, I'd be a doggone wreck.
My thoughts exactly.
Les Schwab Tires. Proud to be ranked #1 in overall customer satisfaction for aftermarket tire replacement by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Our staff loves baseball, and we know how to match you with the perfect vehicle that fits your baseball lifestyle. We know that you'd rather be getting ready to head to the field or the big game, so we make sure you have the most efficient and stress-free experience as possible. So if you're a baseball fan in the market this month for a newer vehicle, go online or give us a call so that you can set up a time for you to experience our easy and upfront pricing and our hands-on trade-in process that will really ensure you have a great experience and get a great value while shopping with us. Harvest Auto, where we're happy to support you and the activities you love.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Owen Wild will head out for a fourth inning of work. Through 3 innings, he's given up 5 hits, 1 run. It was unearned back in that 6th inning. No walks and 2 strikeouts. He will get started against 8, 9, and 1 as Jack Holman will lead things off in the top of the 9th. First pitch to Holman, taken for a ball upstairs. Wild's longest outing was 4.1 innings of relief in the first game in Ridgefield back on June 22nd. So this would not be the longest outing he's had. This is up high, and it's 2-0. Gave up no runs and struck out 8 over those 4 1/3 innings in Ridgefield. This one has gone a little bit different, less strikeouts for him. The first inning that he came on with the bases loaded, he struggled a little bit. This is in its 3-0. Someone in the Yakima bullpen getting warm just in case. Here's the 3-0, and that one misses high. Jack Holman with a 4-pitch walk. We'll bring up Tommy Takayoshi. For 3 tonight, Takayoshi is getting the start at catcher with Kota Sato starting on the mound for the Lefties. Holman leads off at first. The first pitch misses high, and it's 5 straight balls thrown by Owen Wild to start off the 9th. Takayoshi, the 1-0, misses high and away, and it's 2-0. Connor Wilson getting warm in the bullpen for the Yakima Valley Pippins. Wilson showed up on Sunday to make a spot start for the Pippins. At that point was expected to just play or just pitch on that Sunday game and has been asked to return and play the rest of the season out with the Pippins. The 2-0 fouled off by Takayoshi, and it's 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike for Takayoshi. 0 for 3, did reach on a drop third strike back in the 5th and came around to score. This is outside, and it's 3-1. So Wild, in 9 pitches in this inning, has thrown just 1 strike. The Lefties out in front 6-3 as we head into the 9th. They look to add as many runs as they can before the Pippins get their last chance. Here's the 3-1, and he walks Tommy Takayoshi. And just running out of gas, so they'll have to go to Connor Wilson out of the bullpen. We'll be right back with that change and the continuation of the top of the 9th inning. You're tuning in to Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Stay connected and let Perry Technical Institute provide you with essential skills to take your career to the next level. Perry Tech offers 14 specialized programs, from instrumentation and industrial automation to medical technologies, agricultural and diesel equipment technology, and professional truck driving. In as little as 5 weeks, you could be on your way to a new rewarding career. Call Perry Technical Institute today at 509-453-0374 or visit perrytech.edu.
What has not traveling this last year really cost us? How about our peace of mind? It's time for a change of pace. Time to put aside the stress of the last year and get a new perspective with Fly YKM. Take back the time you lost and save time for what really matters. It's time for Fly YKM. Fly faster. Fly safer. Visit flyykm.com and connect to over 88 cities today.
Connor Wilson will take over for Owen Wild in the top of the 9th inning. He takes over with no outs and 2 runners aboard as Wild shades of Kenny Johnson back in the 6th inning, runs out of gas, walks the 2 first batters he faces. This time the Pippins are able to make the change before he loads the bases. So Wilson will come on with runners on 1st and 2nd and no outs in the top of the 9th as the Lefties already lead 6-3. Also a new hitter for the Lefties as Corey Sanchez will hit for Luke Saunders, top spot in the lineup. First at-bat of the series. Left-handed hitter out of Marietta, California from San Jose State. Connor Wilson back on Sunday through 4 innings, gave up just 1 run. 5 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Sanchez tries to lay down a bunt, pops it up, but it bounces off the backstop, and that's strike number 1, a foul ball. Sanchez, sacrifice situation, but I think he was that came around rather late, like he was trying to get on for a base hit. Here's the 0-1, keeps the bat on his shoulder and takes strike 2. It's 0-2 for Corey Sanchez, his first plate appearance. Saunders was 3 for 4 at this point in the game, 2 base hits and a double. Runners on 1st and 2nd, Wilson comes set. Here's the 0-2. Just low, and Sanchez takes ball 1. Wilson, who works out of the stretch with the 2 runners on, stands facing fully forward and then comes set with just his front shoulder facing home plate. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss outside. Sanchez is out with the runner on 1st and less than 2 outs. So Carpentier just picks it up and tosses it back to Wilson. That's the first out of the inning. Strikeout for Connor Wilson. So here's Javi Espinoza. 1 for 3 tonight with a base hit. Had a walk back in the 6th. He was the first batter in the 6th to walk against Kenny Johnson. Would score the first of 2 runs that scored on the ball Shea Thomas hit to the second baseman Spencer Marenko that the Pippins committed 2 errors on. A check swing bunt that rolled down the third base line, just foul when it's picked up by Bryce Martin Grudzalonic, and it's 0-1. So runners on 1st and 2nd still. Corey Sanchez tried to lay down a bunt, but failed to and ended up striking out. Javi Espinoza with a check swing bunt, unintentional, of course. Here's the 0-1. This time squares around and goes after it but misses. And now I'm not so sure that check swing bunt was unintentional. Fails to lay down the bunt, and he now has an 0-2 count with one out and runners on first and second. Sometimes coaches will be inclined to have someone call the bunt with 2 strikes just to force him to lay it down. The bat does not square around. He fouls off the 0-2 to stay alive. Pippins have a couple of new pitchers joining the team shortly. Connor Wilson, one of them, showed up today to rejoin the team. 2 others coming. I don't have the names of it this time. And Landon Shire, who's been on our roster from day one but was playing in the D2 College World Series, is making his way here at some point, hopefully within the end of the week. And he'll be joining the team as well. So after the ball, 1-2 for Javi Espinoza. Wilson looks back at second. The pitch popped up, middle of the infield. Spencer Marenko will make the catch behind the pitcher's mound for out number 2. So Connor Wilson comes on with 2 runners on and no outs. It's the strikeout and the flyout, and here's Garrett Lake. Bats in the same situation, runners-wise. Runners on first and second. Jack Holman on second. Tommy Takayoshi at first after they both walked. Owen Wild was then pulled. Wilson got the 2 outs, and here's Garrett Lake. First pitch swinging, and Wilson with the off-speed. Lake was way out in front, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Wilson looks back to second and delivers. Grounded back up the middle, goes off the glove of Connor Wilson. Cabales to it, throws to first in time. And Wilson almost ruins the chance for the ground out as he gets his glove on it, but instead gets the assist on the play. It's 1-6-3 to get out of the 9th. No score for the Lefties in that inning. They lead 6-3 as we head to the last chance for the Pippins. We'll be right back. You're tuned into Pippins Baseball on the Pippins Broadcast Network.
Who knew it was so difficult to find the right bank?
I know. It's so confusing.
Checking out your banking options? Oh, sounds overwhelming.
It's a cloud of uncertainty.
Enough! With Banner Bank, it's easy to manage your finances, and help is here when you need it.
Be gone, Cloud!
Oh! Wait! Ah!
Built for action, built for banking. Banner Bank.
If we win the lottery, we'd remodel our home.
We'd start with the kitchen.
And out back is where the big trucks will go.
Ben, you don't even live here anymore?
Hey, don't forget about Grandma.
Okay, family meeting. Come on.
Welcome to the Ice Dome.
Welcome back to Yakima County Stadium. Zach Thomas will take over in the bottom of the 9th inning. Sidearm right-hander for the Port Angeles Lefties. He will face the top of the order for the Pippins, Taylor Holder, Alex Shanks, and Willie Lajoie. Thomas this season 0-0 with a 1.12 ERA. He does have a save. He's made 7 appearances, 8 innings, and 7 strikeouts in that time. He's walked just 2. So the Pippins have their work cut out for them. They trail by 3 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. And Taylor Holder leads things off. He is 0 for 4 tonight. Did reach on an error back in the 3rd. He has 2 strikeouts. in his last 2 at-bats. Alex Shanks behind him, who's 1 for 4, had a base hit back in the third, was hit by the first pitch he saw back in the first inning, came around to score. That was Alex Shanks. And Willie Lajoie, who's 2 for 4 with a pair of base hits, an RBI, a run scored, and 2 groundouts. They'll face the right-handed side armor, Zach Thomas. First pitch misses low. I would say Thomas perhaps dips low enough to be classified as a submarine pitcher. Right on the borderline of that informal designation. 1 ball, no strikes for Taylor Holder. As Thomas comes set, here's the pitch. Grounded to the left side. Nick Oakley fields it from his right. The throw across the diamond in time for out number 1. Oakley, who did not start in this game over at shortstop, made the play to his right. Set his feet quickly, got the throw off, and Taylor Holder narrowly out by a step. So here's Alex Shanks. First pitch from Thomas. Grounded just foul down the third base line, and Shanks broke his bat on the first swing, first pitch he saw, and he's asking for a specific bat. Blake Dickman was immediately out with a bat for Shanks. But Shanks said, no, I want a specific one. I don't know if they ran into the clubhouse real quick to get the bats he had in his locker or what. But they apparently found the one he wants to go with. No balls and 1 strike with 1 out for Alex Shanks. The 0-1 pitch swung on and missed outside, and it's 0-2, 1 out. Nobody on for the Pippins. 3-run deficit at the Lefties. Been on top since the top of the 6th inning. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed on the low inside fastball, and Alex Shanks goes down swinging for out number 2 in the 9th. That will bring up Willie Lajoie, the DH tonight, 2 for 4. Run scored in an RBI. Noah Williamson stands on deck. RBI ground out and a base hit for him tonight, as well as reaching on an error for Williamson. Here's Lajoie, the first pitch from Thomas. He takes inside corner, called strike 1. Thomas takes a deep breath, looks in, and now comes set, hands at the belt. The 0-1, that one outside, and it's 1-1. Lajoie right now, the last chance for the Pippins to continue this game as they trail 6-3 here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-1, grounded towards his own dugout, and it's 1-2. Pippins have failed to win a game that they were trailing after 7 innings of play. Late inning comebacks haven't been a part of the game plan for the Pippins on the year. The 1-2 misses outside. Back in Sunday's 16-inning game, they were leading until the Walla Walla Sweets tied the game in the 8th inning. So they were not trailing at that point in the game all the way until the 15th inning when the Sweets finally scored. Here's the 2-2. Grounder left side, Nick Oakley. Does he have another great play in him? Throws on a target to first base, and Willie Lajoie was 3/4 of the way down the line. He grounds out for the third out. Nick Oakley flashes the leather here in the bottom of the ninth inning. And the Lefties walk away with a 6-3 victory here in Game 2 of the series. So the Lefties win the series. They look for the sweep tomorrow night. The Pippins have not been swept at home so far this season, and have not been swept at home since June of 2019. So they'll look to avoid that tomorrow night against the Lefties, as the Lefties make a late half run for the top of the North Division. The Pippins fall to 10-7. The Lefties improve to 6-8. Pippins scored first in the bottom of the first after Alex Shanks was hit by a pitch. Willie LaJoie singled and Noah Williamson had an RBI ground out that brought home Shanks. 2 runs for both teams in the fifth gave the Pippins a 3-2 lead, but then 4 runs in the sixth gave the Lefties a lead they would not relinquish for the rest of the game. They'll be back here tomorrow night, 7:05 p.m. Celebrate America Night with fireworks after the game presented by Banner Bank. The first 1,000 fans receive a red, white, and blue souvenir hat. And it's also Thirsty Thursday, presented by Northwest Peanut Company and Iron Horse Brewing, with discounts on beer, cider, and wine, and soft drinks through the 7th inning. Hope to see you at the ballpark tomorrow night. If not, hope to have you viewing on the broadcast, either audio or video. Until then, I've been Chris Rosado Jr. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.